All right. Hey guys, this is your host Thomas Tyree here from Onthehop podcast. Today, this could be episode 190 for you guys today. But today, I'm joined by three special guests from the Voice of the Fans podcast. Host Ben Reynolds joined by me today, along with his co-host of RC and Professor Flowers. So this should be a really good all-out NFL/college football episode for you guys. So I'd like to thank you guys for joining on. I've been on part of your guys' podcast a few times, but it's great to have you guys finally a part of On the Hot podcast.
That's the least we could do.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having us.
Yes,
Hey
sir. Yes,
man,
sir.
glad to be here. Glad
Yes,
to be
sir.
here. We
Yeah.
on in the DMV. I like that. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're gonna get
Yeah.
rolling, man. Guys, we got a lot of content to cover. So we'll start off with the NFL wildcard game summary. So the Texans defeated the Chargers by a score of 32-12. What's your guys' thoughts on that first game that we saw in the AFC?
Which one y'all want to take a crack at it first?
I'll take a crack at it first.
Oh, okay, go Flowers. There you go.
I've been ready to run my mouth all day anyway. So it's only suitable. The one word I'll say is disappointing. To see the Chargers come out and jump up on the Texans and for them not to be able to take advantage of the momentum that they got early in the game, I think that's disappointing. Lad McConkey, great game, but anybody other than Lad, man, they do not have any kind of hands, man. I don't understand how you can make it to the NFL and forget how to catch. Houston just took advantage of the Chargers' mishaps and Stroud and company. I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't think that the offense would be as productive as it was, but hey, once you get opportunity after opportunity, they came alive and they ended up thrashing on the Chargers.
Right.
True statement right there.
Yeah, I was very disappointed with the Chargers output too. Just can't go into the season with no help, no weapons, no nothing. And it finally caught up with the Chargers in the playoffs. As we see, as we saw in the game with tons of drops. Herbert didn't look like he could trust his guy, so he was trying to force balls into certain situations that he shouldn't have been trying to force into. And a lot of Chargers fans thought this was gonna be a cakewalk, but it turned out to be something else. The Texans came out to play. They had a great game plan. The defense was hyped up. They were all over the Chargers offense, and it just paid dividends for them. CJ Stroud looked a little bit more comfortable back there. Joe Mixon got going. He was actually the surge for that Texans offense,
Mhm.
which helped them out a lot in the long run. And hopefully, man, Chargers they can learn from the lesson and get some more weapons, especially for Herbert.
Man, for me, I see it a little different because I watched the first few drives. The Chargers was going up and down the field on the Texans, and then, like Ben said, the obvious. They didn't have the weapons that put the ball in the end zone. And I think going into this season, I don't think Jim Harbaugh had anticipated that they probably would get this far. They exceeded probably all expectation. They did a lot of different things coming into the season where they want to build this team in his image. I don't like Greg Roman. I don't know where he's been. I don't just what he don't. He's not a good fit for Justin Herbert, who's a pocket passer. He needs a Colin Kaepernick or Lamar Jackson or Tyrod Taylor. So now he actually has a pocket passer, and I hope he evolves as an OC so he can give him an opportunity to play that style that he likes to play. But in closing, I just think the Chargers trending upwards. They're going to be a problem. It's probably the
Oh,
worst
yeah.
they're going to be. And I can see the Chargers being in the Super Bowl in probably 2 years because I know what that guy does when he gets some talent, and his players love to play for him. I'm gonna be honest. Being that he was a Michigan coach and I'm a Michigan fan, I didn't like him because his shit is boring to watch, but it works. Watching him, the way he style of play, run the ball, play defense, but he's evolving. I can see them trending upwards, and like I said, it's the best year. It's the worst year that they will have.
Yeah, I like the responses you guys had with this performance. I was really shocked because I thought the Chargers were going to go out there and win this game, but the Texans, they just came to play. I mean, on the offensive side of the ball, you had Nico Collins show up big time at wide receiver. Joe Mixon showed up running the football. Those playmakers showed up. But then, like Professor Flowers said, anybody on the offensive side of the ball other than Lad McConkey really didn't show up for this game. And Justin Herbert, I was so disappointed in him. I mean, I thought he was going to go out there and have a good playoff performance, but going 14 for 32 passing, 242 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 4 interceptions. This is a guy that only had 3 interceptions the whole entire year. And then you go out there and lay an egg like that. I just felt like it was a disappointing performance. But hats off to the Texans defense. Their defense played really well. I think that was one of the key reasons why they won this game. But definitely, I was disappointed in the Chargers, but I do agree with you, RC. I don't think Greg Roman is the fit for a guy like Justin Herbert that likes to air it out. His style is run first, and like you said, that's work with Colin Kaepernick. That's work with Lamar Jackson. But Herbert's a guy that likes to sling the ball, and realistically, he needs an offensive coordinator that thinks pass first instead of run first. So that might be something they revisit down the line, but in terms of going forward without any offensive weapons, I do give him a lot of credit for the position that they were in. Going 11-6, yeah, 11-6. I think they will improve, and I think this offseason they're going to get busy getting Herbert some offensive weapons for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I totally agree. Cause like I said, we didn't really see Chargers doing this much this season, so it's really a big step for them to make it this far. And like I said, hopefully they can get Herbert some weapons and give him some better play calling too. And we can see. I guess we'll see what happens after that. Cause I heard a lot of people say you can't put Justin Herbert name with Allen and Burrow and all these top arm talent guys that he don't deserve to be on there. Well, that's like, yeah, I get it. Cause he haven't done anything, but the talent's there. They just need to put it together. That's it.
I seen
Yeah,
I seen Dan Orlovsky say something earlier. It might have been earlier, it might have been yesterday, but I seen it where he and I'm with him. We overreact when they play well, and we overreact when they play bad. And I think in Justin Herbert's defense, he hadn't had the same OC in back-to-back years. He hadn't had a lot of things a lot of coaching changes, a lot of moving pieces. And then last but not least, it's incredibly hard to play quarterback in the National Football League because to make it to that game with those players, with I'm talking about with a first rounder who's dropping picks like he owes somebody some money. Like I'm
yeah,
starting to think Quentin Johnson, whoever it is that you owe, whoever it is that whoever told you forget how to play football since you've been in San Diego, it is obvious that your hands is in your pocket. It's like they're not with him, but he won't have that excuse next year, Herbert. I mean, he's gonna give you a pass this year, but next year you gotta come on with it. But
Yep.
I'm excited for that team.
yeah, that's true. That is definitely true. I think they're going to be a threat. That whole entire division is going to be scary to watch
Yeah,
for the next couple of years.
yeah, coming for the Chiefs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Most definitely.
So the next game, you had the Ravens defeat the Steelers by a score of 28-14 on Saturday night. What was your guys' thoughts on that ball game?
What game?
Exactly. What game? For that to be a rivalry and for the outcome, you know what? I was talking to RC earlier today, and I was with him far as what happened to rivalries. After the game, you got these guys dapping each other up, getting autographs with each other. This is the third time y'all played each other this year. I would expect somebody to get the fisticuffs, some pushing, some shoving, some grabbing. But Baltimore came out and just ran straight through the
Mm-hmm.
Pittsburgh Steelers. They had what over two. I know they had over 200 rushing yards.
Mm-hmm.
In that contest, which is
Yep.
that's absurd. If you think about Pittsburgh and his defense, and that's where the money's at. As far as who they're paying, that's where all the top dollar players at. So for them to know what's coming, in my opinion, from Lamar that didn't have Zay Flowers, not related. So that took the vertical game away from down the field. But we've seen a lot of, like I say, just Lamar and Derrick Henry just running straight up the gut, man. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna move on. For Mike Tomlin to be seasoned in this league and for that defense to steadily just crash on the RPO for Lamar Jackson to pull and run up the field, that's very disappointing to see. I don't agree with Ryan Clark when he says the players have quit on him. I just think that if you just look at talent far as in the AFC who's left in the playoffs, other than the Chargers, Pittsburgh doesn't really have any offensive talent that's going to be able to compete
Mm-hmm.
with the juggernauts that are left. So I'm not surprised by the early exit. If you look at it, not surprised by them being on what, like a 5, 6 game losing streak. Because what happened
Yeah.
was they ran into some of the best teams in the league and they couldn't cut it. So they have to self-reflect on themselves. And instead of concentrating so much on the defensive side of the ball, you have a defensive coach. So he should be able to compensate for lack thereof. Strengthen your offensive side of the ball. Go get you some playmakers to go with George Pickens, bolster that offensive line, and let's see what we can go from there.
Right. The Steelers and the Ravens. I mean, it was a slow death for the Steelers. 186 for Darren Hearing. I mean, they just ran it down their throats willingly, and they couldn't do nothing about it. And you saw glimpses of Likely. You see that once every year.
Oh, gosh.
We haven't seen a glimpse of Likely since week 1 against the Chiefs, and here he come showing out. So I mean, the Ravens had a perfect game plan together. They knew what they wanted to do, and they did it. They hit him with the play action, and they ran the ball down their throat when they needed to. And for Mike Tomlin team to come out like this, I mean, what does it say about Mike Tomlin? What he been knocked out of the first round of the playoff with 6 straight seasons or something like that? It was something crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So at some
Mhm.
point you gotta look at Mike Tomlin like, what you doing about the team? Are you just riding the wave to just get to the playoffs and be a first round exit? Are you just looking at being
Mediocre.
something that, yeah, being mediocre at that point, and just getting your team to the playoffs and just being a first round exit? I mean, that was a bad showing. We already knew what the offense was with Najee Harris only having 17 rushing yards. I mean, come on, man.
They ain't
At
cut it.
some point, you gotta get going. They ain't gonna cut it. So the Steelers obviously need offensive firepower, and
Yes.
if they want to ever do if they ever want to do something, they need to go get it now, and they probably need to go find a quarterback. Cause Russell Wilson, I don't know how long he have left, but it seemed like he was under stress and he couldn't get nothing done out there.
I look at football, man, in the trenches. And when I watched the Steelers growing up, and now they're weak in the trenches. The Pouncey twins aren't there. They always had offensive linemen that you knew those names. Not
Mm-hmm.
anymore. When you even on the defensive side, outside the edges, you don't fear the interior, and so that was their bread and butter. Great linebacker play. They don't have that. Well, Queen is okay, but everything starts with your trenches. On the offense and defensive side of the ball, they're weak, and that's where they're getting dominated at. And they don't have that identity. I don't think it's Tomlin. I think the problem is sometimes complacency sets in. I don't think he don't give me content, just happy
Right.
to be somewhere. It's just in these situations, I think he tries this traditional route, and you got to evolve, bro. It's more than getting a camera and standing in front of them, dancing with your players and saying the rah rah stuff. You gotta be, you gotta build it how it's supposed to be built. If you look at all the teams that's left and all the teams that's won in the past, they were strong in the trenches, and they got to get stronger there because no quarterback can overcome bad coaching, bad offensive line play, and bad decisions come from the top. And they struggling in those areas because they got two quarterbacks that mirror images of each other. And I think if they give the young boy time, he can make some plays. And
Mm-hmm.
then Russell's the younger version of him, but I would move on from Russ. It's time to build on your future. But I think the media are gonna force the Steelers' hands, and they're gonna wind up getting rid of. They're gonna wind up parting ways at some point. But and another thing new before I go on, George Pickens. I mean, something got to happen there.
Mm-hmm.
Either you get rid of him before he go to jail. You get rid of him before he becomes a worse version of himself. You get rid of him before he tries to get rid of himself. You go ahead and get rid of him
Mm-hmm.
because in the matter of getting rid of himself, it may spill over to someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Do the same thing you did to Deontay Johnson. Get rid of him.
Yeah, y'all had a lot of good points on that game. What I seen from that game, I just seen straight bully ball. What Todd Monkins was doing, play calling wise, it was running the ball down the Pittsburgh Steelers' throat. And at one point in the second half, at one possession that the Ravens had the ball, they ran the ball 12, 13 straight plays were all running plays. And the Steelers couldn't do nothing about it. So all night long, the RPO game with Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry were going. And I'm looking at the Ravens just go up and down the field, just having their way with them. Like Professor said, they played. This is third time playing. You should know what they're gonna run on both sides of the ball. And I've seen no adjustments made on offense or defense for the Steelers for this game. So I'm thinking no adjustments being made. I even thought for the second half it was best for them to throw out Justin Fields and bench Russell Wilson, give him some type of offensive spark. But and bench Najee Harris as well for Warren. I think that would have given him a better spark as well, trying to run the football, get that going again. But yeah, the playmakers out there for Pittsburgh, there's really none on the offensive side of the ball other than George Pickens. I think he is a diva in my own right. I think he's not the guy for the Pittsburgh Steelers, somebody that you don't want in the locker room. I feel like RC just said, he's going to self-destruct at some point. He's just like a cancer in that locker room. You want to get rid of that as soon as possible. But I also agree that Russell Wilson, his time, this experiment with the Pittsburgh Steelers should be up. It's over. And they need to either give Justin Fields a chance next year or go ahead and just draft a quarterback. Get it over with. Develop somebody, groom them up so you can compete with guys like Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow in the division.
I seen something that was crazy, man. I'm a big fan of Russell Wilson, not far as just a football player, the person. But I clicked on his post on his live. No, it wasn't a live. It was a story. He was in there working out. Like, Russ, sit your ass down, man. Sit your ass down, bro. Stop posting all these videos of you working out, dog, and then going out there and perform. It reminded me of Russell Westbrook when he was posting all those videos of him shooting, and then he got out there with the Lakers, and and we're missing all them shots. Like, all you're doing is creating unrealistic expectations. That's the worst. Social media is the worst thing for athletes, because if I post videos all the time of me working hard, he said, day after the playoffs or something like that, no days off, and he in there with the ball.
Keep
But
grinding.
this ain't got nothing to do with missing George Pickens down the sideline. Dude, I love
Taking
you.
sacks.
But somebody gotta pull you in and say, sit your $5 ass down before I make change, because you none of this stuff you did worked. It has not worked. Christian McCaffrey is another player. They do all that training to go out there to do nothing. Now, I believe this. The Steelers gonna be in a pickle because this was your year. Because next year the Bengals they're gonna start 0-0, and somebody got to be at the bottom. Cleveland ain't gonna be down there forever.
So I have a question for y'all. If the Steelers going in next season, and let's say Mike Tomlin missed the playoffs for the first time, or he has a losing record for the first time next year, do y'all think he's gone?
Yeah, I do.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The fan base. See, the media and the fan base dictate what's the outcome. So I think that's why McCarthy's going to Dallas. That was the media. Keep talking about it until it becomes a problem. And so if you talk about it long enough, it'll become a problem. So, yeah.
It's also interesting, too, that teams are actually acquiring about Mike Tomlin services.
You got a no trade clause.
Yeah. So that teams are calling. The teams are calling. And they asked him, was he planning on going anywhere? And I forgot what he said, though. He was like, that's not your question, or that's not your issue, something like that.
Somebody made the comparison. They compared him to Doc Rivers. I think that's a bit much.
Oh, that was most.
Oh, damn, Doc Rivers.
Yeah, he's the football version of Doc Rivers.
I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah.
That's a cold one right there.
If anything, he would be Tom Thibodeau. Thibodeau goes somewhere and he just wears out. Everything works. You get to the conference championships, but you know how far you're going. You know where the buck stops, and maybe with Pittsburgh, after week 14 and 15, you start hearing those motivational speeches, and you're like, that ain't gonna work, coach. We ain't got the right scheme.
Yeah.
You need a new speech.
Yeah, you can't get up there to hey, you want to make wine, you got to crush grapes. That ain't gonna work, coach.
I think the problem. let me add one thing, because I think the problem is in Pittsburgh is the same problem that my Indianapolis Colts have. People are too comfortable. People are just too comfortable in their roles and in their positions. It's time for a change. It needs to be some shakeup.
Yep.
It needs to be people challenging people. With the exception of T.J. Watt, Cam Hayward, And Minka Fitzpatrick. I mean, everybody should be.
Highsmith.
Yeah, Hausmith. I mean, everybody should be challenging for a position. People just got
Cause
too comfortable.
we seen Porter play go down this year. He's not the same guy earlier
The
in the
cornerback.
season. I mean, yeah, the corner. His play been going downhill
But
this
I can't
season.
measure. I
Yeah,
can't as in totality. Looking at the Ravens, it was a point in the season where the Ravens looked like they were spiraling out of control defensively.
they had the
But it's
worst
about
pass
it's
I
defense.
think I think because of injuries too. They had so many turnover in that back end
yeah. I think
that
it's
it
True.
wasn't never the same guy. It was never the same guys. Then they finally benched Marcus Williams. He should have never left New Orleans, and it got better.
I think for me, man, I can't look at one game and look at that one game and measure it to the entire season. I think it was just you knew what the Steelers were going to be. Nobody in this on this panel thought they were going to win the Super Bowl, right? I
Mhm.
knew the Ravens were going to figure it out. So if you already know, it's kind of like I said before that when you go into a season, there might be a 10 to 11 teams that's trying to win a Super Bowl. Everybody else is trying to figure it out, make revenue. We trying to win this year or they have a different outlook on the season. Pittsburgh was never one of those teams for me. Like they got a shot. And in their mind, they probably didn't think about that, man, because they didn't even know what their quarterback situation was until they were forced to
Mhm.
play Russell Wilson due to injury, them recovering from injury. But they got to figure something out.
Yeah. It's going to be a long offseason for him, I believe.
Yes,
Nah,
indeed.
nah, it ain't gonna be a long off season because once you get away from it and then he re-ups on the motivational stuff and he comes back. Cause listen, dude, I coach. Sometimes I get in my huddle and I don't say nothing. They'll come together and do my daughter like this. She come, hey, what you think I should do? Hey man, go have fun. If we here.
Mhm.
If I gotta tell you what to do and we here, that's the Baltimore Ravens. We're the Pittsburgh Steelers. If I gotta tell you to play, I need to go. I need to go. I need to go to another team.
Yeah.
Fire me.
That's facts, though. When it comes to sports, that is facts.
All right.
The next game, though, the Bills defeated the Broncos by a score of 31-7. In terms of what game, like y'all said, what's your thoughts on this game?
I mean, the Broncos were just outclassed. I mean, we saw them score early, we seen them strike first, but after that, Josh Allen said, "All right, it's game time, fellas." And they took control, and it was nothing the Broncos could do. They didn't have the right personnel. I mean, they literally had a running back from IR that just came out for IR, and he was starting for them. So that tell you all you need to know about the Bronco offense and what they have going on. And Sean Payton just need to buckle down and just go get the players he need and not the undrafted guys or guys from the Saints that we cut. He need to actually go out there, get some playmakers for Bo Nix, and take it easy on them. They said he almost broke Bo Nix, so that's telling you all you need to know right there. And if they can figure that out, get some more playmakers for the Broncos, then they're gonna be just fine. And the Bills, I mean, we already know what the Bills can do. I just worry about the defense sometimes. Sometimes they can get outmanned and out physical. So in order for the Bills to make it further in the playoffs, they need to bring more physicality and keep running it with Josh Allen. And what's the other running back? Davis. Is it Davis?
Are you
Yeah,
talking
Yeah,
about
he
Ray
back.
Davis and James
Yeah,
Cook?
James Cook. Yeah,
yeah. Keep getting them boys the ball, and everything be a okay.
Hmm. I looked at that game, very impressed by the first drive. Sean Payton and company drew up. Disappointed after that. I just thought the game would have been closer. I didn't think that. Well, let me not say that. I actually thought before the game started, Denver stood a chance. I thought that they maybe could keep it close, muck it up. But as I get to
Mhm.
watching the game, the one thing that I seen that overwhelmed Denver, their defense is too small. Far as teams, all they have to do with Denver, in my opinion, run straight at them. Be physical with them. That's what Buffalo did. Buffalo ran straight at them. It wouldn't.
Mhm.
It wasn't no gimmicks. It wouldn't. They just lined up and played physical football and ran straight at Denver and exposed them for being small in the front seven. Now, just because I'm saying that they're small, don't mean that they can't play. It's just the playoffs. You got to think about matchups. So I'm not going to dwell on this game too long. I do want to say, like, Baltimore is probably Buffalo's worst matchup possible in this playoff, right? Because the same thing they did to Denver, they're probably about to get the same thing done to them, far as Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson line up against them. And I understand they played earlier. They didn't have three starters. That's going to be the baking point to that game. But just to see Buffalo go out, take care of business. Hey, look, they did well, pretty much nonchalant, straight face, move on to the next week. I'm curious to see how that game goes.
For me,
I like. I like to correct myself. I'm gonna give credit to the right person. It was Ty Johnson that came in and did it for him, Sir Davis.
I think for me, watching that game, Buffalo's on a collision course with the Chiefs. You can see it. I mean, it's either this weekend, it's either the Ravens or Buffalo are on a collision course. Those teams were just in the way. Denver's trending the right way. I think that the guy that's picking the groceries is trying to do it with great value. Nothing against great value, but when you go in the store, you know, if you're gonna be cheap, you get home, shit ain't gonna taste like you want it to taste. So, you know, when he got to the actual game, did he not realize that at some point, this is the time of the year where whatever your deficiencies are, you get exposed. Okay, you can get away with a Mims and this guy catching the ball in the regular season and steal some victories, but when you get to the playoffs, everybody's seen you enough now, and now they're gonna hone in on it. They're gonna actually game plan for both Knicks. But like I said, the AFC West is probably going to be one of the best conference, best divisions in football here going soon. I ain't gonna trip on that. But next year, Ben, your boy got to get right because hey, listen, he not only on the clock. As you start going forward, the years add up. People start holding you accountable because hey, you're actually picking the sorry players. See,
Yeah.
you actually pick Devontae Adams gonna be free. You may be able to get Debo Samuels. You may be able to get Dre Greenlaw. There's gonna be some players out there. If you keep going out there getting the third best player on somebody's team, third best linebacker, third best receiver, then you're gonna be in a world of hurt. But Buffalo, it's a now never for them. You know,
Yeah.
because the league is getting better, man. They ain't gonna be the same next year. And you finish first in the division, so you play a first place schedule next year. So, hey, let's see what they do.
Yeah, I was looking at this game, and after the first drive, I was like, I wish the football guys lined it up for the Bengals to be the ones to play the Bills instead of the Broncos.
Oh, that'd been good.
Nah, that would have been a shootout.
Yeah, that would have been a much better game. But to the Broncos' point, I thought they were going to give us a show or a fight at least against the Bills. But after that first drive, the Bo Nix had a really good deep ball to score the first touchdown of the game. The Bills just scored 31 unanswered points, and it was their world. I mean, Joe Brady, play calling wise for the Bills, really just picked apart this Denver Broncos defense. I like the 4-by-1 formations that he runs with 4 wide receivers on one side with the other wide receiver on the other side. I think that's a pretty cool formation. But Josh Allen just had his way. 272 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns. Dalvin Cook was having one hell of a game too. 120 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. I think the only thing, like you guys said, the only thing that the Broncos did have a chance was their defense, and their defense didn't come to play. And it's hard to win on the road with your rookie quarterback and Bo Nix. I mean, he had a tremendous rookie year, but the playoffs is different, especially you're playing a team that did not lose all year long at home in the Buffalo Bills. So, yeah, that was tough to see for him. But I think the Broncos, they got a bright future. As long as, like RC said, as long as they build the right way. Sean Payton's got to definitely have a great offseason to keep up with the Chargers and the Chiefs. And who knows what the Raiders will look like down the line.
Yeah.
The Raiders coming. They coming. Hey, do y'all agree that a few years back we had the AFC North or AFC West. We had them pegged to be one of the best conferences. That was Herbert with Keenan Allen and all them boys. We thought that was going to be a good conference then. I think we are there now with this conference now. Because if Bo Nix, we're gonna find out if he's for real. Because the second year sophomore slumping, but I'm kind of intrigued by that division because Mahomes finally they're our only hope. Somebody got to soften him up before somebody else get him. Make him earn that division championship.
Definitely gonna be hard for Mahomes next year. Like I said, team's gonna re-up and get better pieces. And it's gonna be a matter of time. Kelsey getting old, so it's a matter of time for they get caught up with.
Yeah, that's facts. So moving to the NFC side of the wild card, you had the Eagles defeat the Packers by a score of 22-10. What's your guys' thoughts on that game?
That
Hold on, let
game.
me ask.
You go ahead.
Hold on,
Go
Flop.
ahead.
Hold on, let me ask. I'm gonna ask you and RC. What did I say about Jordan Love that I was skeptical about? the, his decision making, right? His
Yes,
decision making.
that and for them to go in and pretty much have to be carried out on a stretcher because I mean they're wideouts, man. My goodness. For them, they was losing wideouts just play after play. They pretty much ended up being depleted, but with all the depletion, they still were in the game. That should
Mm.
worry Philadelphia Eagle fans because down the road, well, this weekend you're gonna play a better offense. And looking at that game, as far as last week with Jalen Hurts and company, it's disappointing to see all that firepower. And I like Jalen Hurts, but I gotta call a spade, when it show his hand. And for the passing game of the Eagles to be subpar the way it is worrisome. They have too many weapons. The offensive line is too damn good for Jalen Hurts to not put up at least 220 passing yards. You got AJ Brown, you got Devonta Smith, you got Dallas Goddard. People will foam at the mouth and die for those pieces to be on that football team. And Jalen Hurts can't give them the football. And then you have Saquon Barkley in the backfield that you can just hand it off 20, 25 times a game. Okay, they put 8 in the box, you get your shots, and they cannot connect, and that is so worrisome. The Rams defense is playing better. Those young guys. Look, one thing you know about young guys, they're gonna run to the football. They got a good win. They got something to play for. If I'm the Eagles, I'd be on probably level 4 alert going into this week.
Mm.
Right. Like I said, Jordan Love, he turned to Jordan Hate real quick. I know it's not all his fault, but man, the Packers just couldn't get the ball moving. They had injuries on their side. I get it, but you still got to find a way to move the ball and put points on the board. I think they shot themselves in the foot too many times with some penalties
Uh-huh.
at the wrong time. So the Packers, I believe they had a blueprint, but they just couldn't put it together. And with the Eagles, I get it flowers with Hurts throwing for 121, and he got AJ Brown mad over there reading a book, trying to find some
Trey
trying to
Encouragement.
find some positivity, yeah, some encouragement, trying to find some positivity. He trying to find the sunshine, the storm, whatever. So it's maddening for AJ Brown to only have one catch. Come on now, get the man involved. That's why y'all brought him to Philly. Get him involved. Don't have him over there reading books. Spread the ball around. And Jalen, he gotta get better on being accurate and getting the ball out. Lucky for them, like y'all said, he got Saquon. They leaning heavy on Saquon. And I wonder what do they have if Saquon can't run the ball like he can when they gonna have to throw. Is Jalen gonna able to connect with AJ Brown when the time comes? So shout out to Dallas Guard too. That's a grown man.
Indeed.
I think I think seeing Green Bay's coach interview for the Cowboys job says a lot. You know, that says a lot about what's going on there. I mean, he's head coach. He's running that show over there. I think that thing has ran its course. I mean, you. This is the problem I have with guys who come out of a certain coaching tree, and they don't create their own identity. It's kind of like the Belichick disciples. They all want to carry on what Belichick does, and it don't work. Well, Shanahan has the same issue. His guys come off up under him, or guys that coach with him, they want to copy. But James Brown had a saying called "often imitated, never duplicated." You don't have a Debo Samuels. You don't have a George Kittles. You don't have a Christian McCaffrey. You don't. You tried to go out and create your version of it and get all these different guys that don't nobody know that I'm gonna develop. It goes back to what I said about Sean Payton. You need dudes. You need dudes. You need guys. So the guys you're losing are good for your system, but they probably third and fourth guys on other people's teams. And not just guys people just clamor over. So that's not working. Then defensively, you keep changing defensive coordinators. Your defensive guys can't get used to somebody.
Yep.
Okay, and so it's just like don't have a clear identity what you want to do there. Then Philadelphia. Oh my God, you're about to get humiliated on the biggest stage because the next two obstacles they want to break you. You watch the Rams play, they're young and disrespectful. You watch Detroit play, it's like we don't just want to beat you, we want to beat you to death in front of the entire world. And we're gonna talk into the camera while we do it. Okay. Philadelphia mentally hadn't been right, and I'm gonna toot my horn. My boys broke them. See, they play a very finesse style game. But when I watch Jalen Hurts, and it pisses me off because he gets the pass because he's winning. Dude, you threw for 134 yards, though. Okay? 134 yards in the National Football League in a playoff game. That's not going to fly against a great defense. And last but not least, we need to enjoy what we're seeing out of Saquon this year because next year it will be different. Okay? Because teams going to load the box. And I feel like I don't think that AJ Brown he's going to therapy because I ain't never seen AJ Brown do that when he's reading a book on the sideline. I don't know if I've ever seen the National Football League a player do that. He's going through some.
Let me add on.
That mean he about to throw a fit and he had to grab that book real quick.
Woosah.
Woosah.
Let me add on to that real quick because I hear the media, former players on TV saying they didn't have a problem with it. Some say they did. Let me put my 2 cents in with that. I think it's a problem. First and foremost, I get what Sirianni trying to say as far as that's his thing that keeps him calm and cool. Okay, he's reading the book and he's not paying attention to adjustments. So how is that helping the team that he's reading the book and you have the offensive coordinator or your wide receiver coach with the blue tablet showing pictures of, hey, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this, and you doing this. You're not paying attention. So how is that helping the team? But what do I know?
Dude, you got something though. Because will you be able to do that if you're down 21-7? If you're down 28-7, are you gonna go to that book? You ain't worry about that book.
Hell
because I'm telling you, if the way Detroit and the Rams are built, they want to get a lead and make you play from behind. I don't know if you're gonna go read the book when you're down. You know, you're sitting over there. Your nerves, your human nature gonna take over and be like, bro, we getting beat.
You got one catch for 10 yards and the score 20. The score, let's say next week, Rams get up 17-7. You gonna be reading the book then? No. Or you know what I'm saying? Or you gonna pay attention to the adjustments and to your tablet to where the coordinator, your wide receiver coach talking to you about X's and O's.
Dude, y'all, it's football. Y'all all play football, been around it? You can't read no book in football, dog.
No.
I don't think he was reading it how he was looking. he let out a big sigh. He like opening it up. I think he just opened it up. And he just opened it up and just started reading.
Hey,
I'm trying to tell you.
The key thing in the media, when they asked him about the book and he tried to quote it and he couldn't quote it, he was like, there's a passage in the book and it says, that reminded me of Jameis Winston when he said, my trainer said, what did my trainer say? You reading the book, dog. You read that same book every game. You can't remember it because you know why you're stunting and you already setting them up so they can say, well, AJ is the problem. Or AJ's reading the book.
Right.
I wouldn't care.
That's just him throwing. That's just really. So you're really saying that's just him throwing a tantrum without throwing a tantrum?
Exactly.
You know how the Bible's a complicated book. So a book that you could kind of that's wrote current and you can actually read and get an understanding for. If any of you guys are readers, you could be engaged in the book. You be like, And hey, AJ, it's time to go out there, bro. I just got to the best part of the book. Go
Uh-oh.
get out of here. Get out of here.
Exactly.
I'll be in there. Give me a couple seconds.
No.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that is crazy. I've never seen anything like that. But based off this game, I felt like until the fourth quarter, if you had your eyes closed and not looking at the score, or you don't see the score watching at home, it felt like a 70-0 game. The way how the Eagles just had their way with the Packers, I felt like they should have scored way more than 22 points.
Right.
Just from the opening kickoff, when the Eagles hit him in the mouth, forced him to fumble the ball, it just felt like they rode a wave of momentum after that, and they never looked back. And Jordan Love, who I think it was you, Ben, who said it. Jordan Love just this is what I was saying about to a lot of Packers fans. When you play the Dallas Cowboys, a team that is set to self-destruct, being a 7th seed, you had the opportunity to win that game last year. When you play a legitimate team that was just in the Super Bowl a year or so ago, you're not going to get that lucky second time around. So Jordan Love had in this game, he was throwing a lot of hospital balls to wide receivers, getting cracked across the middle, going out. He didn't play good. I mean, he had a QBR of 41.5, throwing 3 interceptions. It was just ugly to watch. The Eagles defense just had their way with him. But I think it was, Professor Flowers said Kellen Moore's got to be in his bag more. And I agree play calling wise because you got to get A.J. Brown some looks, Devontae Smith some looks. You got to mix it in like you did in Dallas play calling wise. You got to air it out with Jalen Hurts. And the thing is with Jalen Hurts, too, is I know they got Saquon because I can only imagine what the team will look like offensively without him. I have not seen Jalen Hurts have that star-studded performance since they played in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs a few years ago.
I agree.
I have not seen that from him. Up until this point, I was on the fence of is he regressing or not. But he looked decent this year. Not the best that I've seen out of him or hit his peak like he had with Shane Steichen. But I don't know. There's something about this offense that needs to click or they could be in danger of getting upset this weekend against the Rams.
You know what it is? Now that you talk about it, man, it's what Nick Saban saw in the national championship game that made him put into it. It's the kid. It's the inconsistency of playing the position.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's kind of what I told a guy when it pertains to playoff football. There are on a handful of guys that can raise their level of play. If you're looking at numbers, and that's all you love is numbers, he does a lot. Okay, he can run the ball, he can throw the ball. But watch Lamar Jackson, who he is now. He evolved from where Jalen is. He can give you 400-yard passing and 100 yards rushing. If you're gonna be that style of play, I think Jalen is when they talk about game manager, he is the most elite game manager in the game.
Mobile game manager.
Yeah, and so what I mean by that is when a team does this in the playoffs, y'all gonna see this when they load the box and say your best guys on the outside beat our best guys on the outside, and he got to stand back there and throw more than 20 times. Barbecue chicken. I've seen him do it. Dallas forced him to do it last year. He struggled. We forced him to do it. He couldn't do it because when they get down, he can't just get back there and just throw the ball more than 20 times. So he has regressed, but I think it ain't Kellen Moore. He's limited. And when you bring in Tua, who is limited, I mean, how limited are you if you're going in from Tua's not limited. Tua's damaged goods. At that moment in time when Saban brought him in, he was the man. So Jalen is still he's maxed out at probably what he's going to be as a quarterback.
Well, they better bring you something instead of running the same play over and over again.
Saquon.
They gonna have to do
I'm
something.
sick of that.
Cause like I said, at some point when y'all not be able to run the football, somebody got to throw it. Somebody got to make some plays out there. Saquon can't do it all. And
I'm not saying
they had the
what I'm
Rams
about to say.
next.
I don't think was it Kenny Pickett?
Yeah,
I know of Cody Pickett at one time.
Yeah,
but Kenny Pickett, I saw him play and it looked like a different offense. I'm not saying he's better than Jalen. He's throwing that ball to everybody. He was spreading it around.
Especially when they played us. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
you see that?
Kenny just need a little bit more time.
Dark. I'm talking about it. You didn't know. You like that. I didn't realize they had that many players. With Jalen, it seems like those guys aren't out there. Like they just got one guy out there or something. I mean, but what do I know?
That's true. So the Sunday night game, you had the Commanders defeat the Bucks by a score of 23-20. I think this was obviously the best game of Wild Card Weekend. What's your guys' thoughts on this Sunday night game?
Well,
Good job
I
on letting
come
them.
in on
Go ahead.
I come in on ESPN. You know they're busting loud. Talking about Mike Evans got the best on. So I come in and I said Lattimore got the last laugh. And oh, did I start song? Everybody come in like, hey, Mike Evans got the ring, he got the ring, and all this. So I guess I
Oh,
pissed off a lot of Buccaneer fans. God said Lattimore got the last
oh,
laugh.
So they went the Shaq route on you with the ring. They always
Yeah,
throwing the
man.
rings
They
up
man,
on you.
hey, look, the so thing. I knew what I was doing, so when I come in, I just left it. I ain't responding. No. I just let it go.
let it marinate.
You're right. Go ahead, Flowers.
I just want to brag on myself for a minute. I what Jaden Daniels is doing is not surprising to me.
Mm-hmm.
We can go back in the VOL vault, before the season started, and I told people he can make every throw. He's faster than you think. And you fast forward to now, you see what I'm saying. For him to be a rookie and for him to be so calm, cool, and collective, that's very amusing to see from a guy like that because let's look over the past 3-4 years. We've seen the Commanders have positional talent, but the one thing that they lacked was a quarterback. So, I mean, you get Dan Snyder out of there, and this is amazing how just the nightfall turns in the day. Dan Snyder gets put out. You get Jaden Daniels. You get a new owner group. First year they make the playoffs. It's just amazing what a quarterback can do for a franchise because Commanders have been looking for a quarterback for the last 20 years, you can say. I
Yep,
think
since
that's fair to
RG3.
say. Since RG, almost 20
Yeah,
years.
since RG3. Mm-hmm.
Yes, they had RG3 and they had Kirk Cousins. So they haven't had a quarterback since then. And for them to be in this lane with Jaden Daniels and company, for them to just to only go up, I expect great things from the Commanders in the future. The NFC East is going to be a problem, Thomas. I hate to tell you, man. The
I
NFC
know.
East is going to be a problem.
We don't get ourselves together, we might be at the bottom of the division soon.
Mm-hmm.
Man, listen, I I was one of those guys who didn't believe in Jaden Daniels because, like, I just look at the age and say, hey, he's supposed to be doing what he's supposed to be, what he's doing because he's older. I got to throw that out the window. That's bull crap because, like, listen, there's a lot of older guys in the league that don't know what the hell to do. Every time they need this guy to drive their team down the field to score to bring them back, like once you see that a couple times, okay, now I got to go against what I said because that is very hard to do to answer the bell. That's guys who've been in the league X amount of years who can't put together a game-winning drive. This guy has done it, and he's doing it with one real weapon in McLaurin. But on the other side, don't Todd Bowles remind you of Mike Tomlin? Is it me? They give you some of the worst facial expressions on the sideline. You know
Yeah.
what you're gonna get out of them. You know that their teams. I mean, I think the Bucks are better than the Steelers offensively, but you kind of know what a Tomlin Balls team gonna look like through the regular season. They're gonna be really aggressive. They're gonna fight. When they get to the playoffs, it's like, dude. It's like last year the Bucks looked pretty good, but this year it was kind of like you just waiting on the mistake. You know it's going to happen. They gave, I couldn't believe what Baker did. I mean, it happened, and then Jaden capitalized on it. But
Yep.
both of those teams, not just the Commanders, but they're going to be good for a while. The Bucks are trending upwards. They're getting better. They get players back. I hope they keep balls, and especially with I love Adam Peters, ex-Niners GM. Well, he wasn't GM. He was a upper management guy. I don't know what he was doing because Lynch was doing everything, but he's great at building a football team. And I think I'm afraid not just because he's there. I know what he's going after. I know everything he's that Samoan kid they got. I can't say his name. I want to butcher his name.
Vita
The
Vea.
linebacker,
Vita Vea.
man. No,
Oh,
no,
a
the
linebacker.
linebacker for the Commanders, Latufo
Oh,
or
okay.
something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That kid is a leader, man. Like them pregame speeches and carrying on and all that. That the tradition stuff that they do. They got something building over there. So salute to them guys. Now here comes Jumanji. Here comes the
Right.
real test. from Detroit Lions.
I think everybody knew this game was gonna be close. Especially with the Buccaneers side, they've been carrying on this whole season, and the Commanders side, Jane Daniel been putting together a great first year. But it really came down to what team would call for football, and that what the Buccaneers did. They phoned the football at the worst possible time, and it ended up costing the game.
Dang, that
And
was a good game.
yeah, it's just unfortunate that it happened like that. But Jay Downs, he proves that he is a rookie of the year. He is a star. I mean, he led the team in rushing and passing. He came out there and did it all and put the team on his back and did what he had to do. I mean, that just shows you how good he really is. And this is just his first year. I think that the Buccaneers, they knew what they had coming in versus the Commanders, and both of the teams, but Commanders they're able to top them off.
And he's so much more better than Ashley Larry, Caleb Williams. Like
Right.
I call him
Facts.
Ashley Larry
He
for a
ain't worried
reason.
about painting fingernails. He
But
he he he's
now
studying film. He not a nail polish.
it's not even that. It's not even that. I think with Caleb Williams, the thing is, he's been told for so long,
He's
he's been
great.
pampered for so
He's
long,
the
and
chosen one.
even though he played well to me as well, like don't turn over the football. I mean, I think he might have had, for his rookies, he had the less interceptions, but dog, you got to throw it. That's the problem. He don't want to turn the ball over so much. He holds it and take a sack, but the Bears just screwed that up, man. I'm kind of glad for Caleb for Jaden, because if he goes to the Bears, there's no guarantee he'd be great because they find a way to screw up stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
perfect situation. And also Cliff Kingsbury is being interviewed by everybody all of a sudden. So
Well, he said it's funny. He came out and said that it'll be hard for him. It'll be hard for him to leave that kid. He talking about Caleb Williams. So I don't know. He said he had to be the right thing for him to leave his side.
Chicago.
I
That's the
mean,
right
I
thing.
say Caleb Williams. I mean Jay and Dan. I mean Jay and Dan. He says
Yeah.
it'll
yeah,
be a
it's
hard
bull
decision to
crap.
leave Jay and Dan's side.
That's
he,
the
he
everything.
interviewed for the Saints. He interviewed for the Saints and we have Spencer Rattler. So I was like,
He'll
Yeah,
be a
because
quarterback
he might
whisperer.
choose the Saints. Yeah, right. He coached Spencer Rattler at Texas
and
Tech.
I'll be for that, Ben. You know me, I'm for the offensive guru bringing the defensive coordinator with him versus hiring a DC and then having to find an OC. Bring the OC, turn him into your head
So
coach, and let me go get a DC.
do y'all think a lot of Jane Daniels' success is because of Cliff?
Mm,
Yeah,
I wouldn't say that. I like the creativity that Cliff puts out there. I mean, you gotta think about Jaden Daniels' style and playmaking allows Cliff to be able to be exotic with his play calling. So
you.
That's true.
When I think about a quarterback success, I look at the offensive line, the skill players, and the OC, and they're all on the same page. You can tell that they all bought in. That's all it is. I mean, when you don't have a diva on the team, you don't have. When I watch his protection is pretty clean. He gets harassed, but he can get out of it. And then his running backs are consistent. It just seemed like they're all focused and bought in. And Caleb Williams, he having those many players with names probably was bad, because they probably demanding, especially Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen
I,
got a
I
little
think it was more on
nastiness
DJ.
to him.
I think it was more on DJ Moore.
Yeah, he pouting all year. Yeah,
DJ Moore I
Yeah.
mean, once they got rid of offensive coordinator, they did start giving DJ Moore the ball more. He
yeah.
started getting looks. That I will say.
yeah.
Give me the non-pouting receiver. I mean, I ain't
I
many out
agree.
there.
Now,
I agree too.
I think Keenan Allen said he wouldn't mind going back to the Chargers.
That'd
Nah,
probably be best for him.
he's on. He probably. I don't know, man. Keenan Allen, he's. I think he's a good red zone target now more than anything. Third
I mean, he
down
don't have to be a
type
number
player.
one.
He's
He'll
just
be a
on one
pretty good
leg.
number two and a
Yeah.
damn good three.
I'll take him.
Yeah,
He
well,
a
at least he can
dog.
catch. He can. He can catch. That's for sure. More than
He
the
a
Chargers
dog.
receivers.
Yeah.
But yeah, that Commanders game, like you guys said, Jaden Daniels put that cape, that Superman cape on. I think he's so special. And like you guys were saying, you need a quarterback, you need a head coach in the front office, and you're on your way to win the Super Bowl. They're not there
Mm-hmm.
yet, but over the course of the next few years, they keep building this team, and Jaden keeps this up. They might get there before the Cowboys even do. So that's even sad for me to say. But the game winning drive, the Commanders, they've been cardiac kids all year long. I think they had 7 closing wins in the fourth quarter to close out the game. So they did it again against the Buccaneers in the playoffs. But yeah, Ben, like you said, them pivotal fumbles and the turnovers that the Bucs had in the fourth quarter was bizarre and strange to see because they got that big fourth down stop in the fourth quarter, and then Baker Mayfield and the center weren't on the same page, or I think it was Baker Mayfield trying to make a handoff. They weren't on the same page. They fumbled.
Yeah, to Matt Millen.
Yeah,
Matt Millen.
Commanders went in, cashed in, and scored, and then they got the Commanders got the big fourth down stop, and then they were forced to kick a field goal to tie the game at 2020. So yeah, the Commanders they just wanted it more, and I was looking at the expression on the sidelines, like RC said, with Todd Bowles, Baker Mayfield, and Mike Evans. They were crushed. They were crushed. They really wanted that one, but
crushed.
it was the Commanders that it was just their night. So that was a good game though. Definitely want to see more battles between Baker and Jaden Daniels move forward.
Shout out to Lattimore, always a who that. Congratulations.
Oh.
I thought I was gonna see them old days, Ben. Them old NFC days. Mike Evans and
they were calling everything on Lattimore when Mike was pushing and grabbing. It's all good. We know everything's catered to a receiver. It's all good.
Thought somebody chain was gonna get snatched Sunday night. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm waiting on
it. I really want to hear you guys' thoughts on this last game before we move on. The Rams defeating the Vikings 27-9 in the Monday night game. What's your guys' thoughts on this big upset?
Woo. I think all of us seen this coming. We
Mm-hmm.
all seen this coming. I think I can speak for us all as a collective that we're not surprised that the Rams won. They beat Minnesota earlier in the year. I think the most surprising thing is the fact of the matter that Sam Darnold got sacked 7 times. And I think people don't understand. And I'm not here to throw dirt and set Sam Darnold on fire or anything. I think that kid can play. I think people need to understand first and foremost that playing quarterback on any level is hard. Especially once you see how fast the defense is moving, you got about 2 to 3 seconds to get rid of the football and to make the right decision with guys running 17 plus miles per hour each play. So I just don't want to do what the media is doing with Sam Darnold and just make it like because you can't go 14-3 and that happened and just all of a sudden, oh, he don't know what he's doing. They're not 14-3 for a reason, okay? I understand that the Minnesota Vikings are a very talented group, a lot of talent on both sides, good offensive line that cracked down at the end, running game. There's just more that Minnesota could have did, but RC's probably about to tell you it's the worst matchup that Minnesota could have got because where is Minnesota O'Donnell from? What coaching tree is he from?
Matt Vay's.
From McVay's coaching tree. So when you put teacher against student, teacher usually wins 9 out of 10 times. So they already knew what was coming that way. So it was kind of easy, in my opinion, for the Rams to pretty much game plan for the Vikings. You probably thought the Rams probably would have been a little discombobulated with fires and stuff that were going on. They had to go a state over to play the game. These guys are professionals. So I didn't think it'd be much of an issue. If anything, like RC and me were talking about earlier, those guys got something to play for now. So that's dangerous. That's dangerous to the field. So like I said earlier, Philly, you better be ready.
Yeah, it wasn't. I'll say this: it wasn't so much of what the Rams was doing; it was more so much was of what the Vikings wasn't doing. They wasn't pass protecting Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold wasn't getting the ball out quick enough. He was holding it, trying to hit the deep shots too much. Stuff just taking what's given, and by taking all them sacks, it just kept giving the Rams a short field and putting that defense out there more and more. So the Rams just took advantage of those opportunities. But Sam Darnold, if I'm the Vikings, I'm pumping my brakes on paying him, not because of this performance. I feel like I want to say a rookie can come in and win that many games, but I feel like with this Viking team, JJ Mike can still come in and get them to that point in the playoffs. I just feel like they can put that money somewhere else, or paying instead of paying Sam Darnold all that, and might not never win championship by doing that. So I think the Vikings is just take a step back, think about what they have right now, and if they feel like Sam Darnold's the key, then pay him. But if they feel like that money can be used elsewhere, then stick with JJ. I think they picked him for a reason, and the coach they have now, the offensive guru, I think he'll put JJ in the right position to succeed. But shout out to the Rams, Kyron Williams and Matthew Stafford. They play a great game. Puka, they you knew what them guys gonna do, and they did it. And Tyler Higby, I mean, what can you say? The Rams had the offensive keys, and they took advantage of all those opportunities that the Viking gave them.
Mhm.
Man, once again, I gotta big up both of y'all. Because me being a 49er fan, we don't like the Rams. And when you're doing this, you gotta be unbiased. You gotta look at it for what it is and call it how you see it. Y'all picked the Rams early in the year to be good, and they have delivered. Even though when they was 1-4, I'm like, I'm right. I got this. I'm right. And they got a coach that coached them out of a 1-4 situation, and now they.
Hmm.
I said earlier to Flowers that I think Matthew Stafford's career is just as good as Aaron Rodgers.
I
One
agree
Super
with
Bowl,
that.
he got one Super. I
Mhm.
mean, what Aaron Rodgers do better than Matthew Stafford? Not a damn thing, in my opinion. He pout more, but when I look at the Vikings, I pump my brakes on paying J.J. McCarthy. I watched J.J. McCarthy at Michigan. He was the best handoffer in college football history. He handed that ball off so much. How he went up that draft board, every year we see people do that. They hype a guy up the draft board, i.e. Will Levis and Trey Lance, and they did the same thing with J.J. McCarthy. He's up the draft board, you pick him. To even think about paying Sam Darnold tells you a lot about the Vikings. To even think about that, okay? Because you saw the kid. Sam Darnold, we've been seeing him, but to even think about it, it's hard to win 14 games. Now, Sam Darnold
Mhm.
in one night career was ended because of a bad night. Now all of a sudden, because people been
Two
waiting on
bad
him to mess
nights.
up.
Hmm.
But still, two bad nights. But the blueprint had been laid by Detroit. Everybody copied and pasted and did it and was able to deliver. But I think still Sam Darnold is a good quarterback for that offense, and that's it. He had a career year. When the last time the Vikings were 14-3?
They had one of the easiest schedules. I was looking through it, and it was
No, but ain't no
nothing. When they
the
found
national.
I say this, when they finally go up against a good defense and they play against a team that can pressure Sam Darnold, he's a totally different case. I
They
mean, he
got three
crumbled.
wins, bro. They had, it's extremely hard,
You know
Benjamin,
why? You know why
to
we
beat
saw
a
the
team
Rams?
twice. They beat
What
them. They had to beat them.
you
They would have to
know?
beat them.
So why did you see the Rams beating the Vikings? I
So,
mean, it was
but
for me, it was the round defense have came a long way this season. That with Verse and Turner, I knew they're gonna be a problem for the Vikings. I was like, it's no way
yeah,
Sam Darnold gonna weather the ship with pressure in his face. It's no way,
Uh,
cause
but
he's not one of the type of quarterbacks that can. If he get pressure, it's a wrap. He's not gonna overcome the pressure.
I don't
That's why I
disagree.
picked the Rams.
Don't disagree. I do want to be fair with Sam Darnold. Sam's been in the league what 6 years, something like that.
mm-hmm,
Feel like
mm-hmm.
eternity.
Yeah, it do feel like an eternity now that we look back at it. But just in fairness, for him to this is the first time he's been in a position like this, far as fighting for a division, battling.
Mhm.
This is his first playoff game ever. I think he's been in the league so long we don't think about things like that. Far as this is his first ever playoff game, and everybody doesn't have success in their first playoff game, and all of it wasn't his fault. But
Yeah.
like we are saying, with McVay and O'Connell being from the same tree, the Rams had to me the Rams had the advantage on the Vikings. Simply the fact of the matter because the Vikings were too pass happy. Now
Mm-hmm.
to neutralize the Rams, you should have ran the ball a little more. That's probably what should have happened. Slow the game down, run the ball. do not play into McVay's hand into that pass rush because that's the Rams' defensive strength, in my opinion, is the pass rush.
But did you see Cam Akers break off 5, 6, 7 yard, and they stopped going to him? But listen to this though. Go back to the play where Matthew Stafford does the most unconventional thing I've ever seen a football player do, quarterback do, just throw the ball out, and it's a fumble, and they pick it up. What would the score have been? What would the score have been? It would have been 10-10, right? Okay, 10-10. Okay, people don't believe, those of us who play sports, there's this thing called momentum. And once those points was taken off the board, it's like the Rams got a second chance or a second life. What happened right after that? Okay, they take advantage of it, 17-3 now. And so my thing is that, you know, because the Vikings defense could pin their ears back when they got a lead, or when the score is 0-0, and your game plan changes. You do not want Sam Darnold. You don't want Sam Howell. You don't want Sam Bradford. You don't want Sam from down the street throwing the ball more than 20 to 34 times. Like, it just don't make sense. And so once they got to that game, it was all around because we know Sam Darnold gonna turn the ball over. And the worst thing I seen was, in closing, I saw somebody do a graphic and they had all the Rams defense were ghosts.
But
that hurt me.
But another tell sign for the Vikings too was it was like on a neutral site. So it's not like Sam Darnold was in the Rams' house with the whole crowd around him. It was basically a neutral site. It was like, felt like it was more Viking fans than Ram fans.
But that makes the point. I said this earlier about Purdy. Yes, short, not the best, but when the bright lights are bright, he advances, he wins. It's only a small group of players, quarterbacks, that can do that. You know, my guy up here, Thomas, when the lights are bright, that is a deer. It's like, oh God, you know what I'm saying?
Headlights.
Nah, I want to throw Dak like that on the bus.
In big games, in big games.
He had his moments, but it's not like that though.
Yes, you ain't got to throw him under the bus. He throw himself under the bus. And this is the thing. I'm saying this not to take a shot at Dak, but that position, they're only because he ain't by himself. Lamar Jackson done did it. Okay,
we go back in history. We go back in history now.
It's a lot of quarterbacks who can't deliver in those moments. The other guy, Matthew Stafford, can, and it's only a small few guys that can.
Yeah, y'all made a lot of good points about this game. That's why I also backed the Rams too. One was due to the experience at the position, the quarterback position, because Matthew Stafford's got he knows how to perform in these big moments. Compared to Sam Darnold, it was his first playoff game, but also the Rams, not only did they copy the blueprint that the Lions laid for him, blitzing Sam Darnold, have him under duress, but they went back to their own game plan that they had the first time they played the Vikings. They had Sam Darnold under a lot of pressure, minus that face mask call that they got.
Oh God,
safety call.
Yeah, the safety.
The first time, but I don't know if you pull out the checkbook for Sam Darnold, and I know, like you guys said, it wasn't all his fault. In the battle of the trenches, he was getting tore up. But I saw at times he was hesitant on what to do. He was holding the ball a lot back there too long. And I'm like, yelling at the TV, Sam, throw it. At least throw it out of bounds, throw it away.
Man, he wouldn't step up in the pocket. He wouldn't slide. He was just like,
he was going backwards, forwards. I'm like, he like a car going reverse. No, throw the ball.
There's a clip of the Minnesota radio team doing the game, and he's just holding the ball. They're like, throw the ball, Sam, throw it. Like, he won't get rid of the ball.
So I asked you guys this question. I asked this question in a sports group that I'm in, because they change quarterback like underwear in that group. They always want to get rid of quarterback. Who you pay?
Let me answer this. Let me say this first. When we say the word pay, I don't think Sam Darnold's worth $60 million.
No,
but if you want to give him per se 40,
half, yeah.
Daniel Jones got 40.
35.
Daniel Jones
35, 40.
Daniel Jones fucked up for everybody. So let's say 40 to 45. If it's me, because we have to be honest here. JJ McCarthy is coming off a major knee surgery. Knee surgery, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
meniscus.
Okay. If you look at him on the sideline, you can tell he lost about 15, 20 pounds. So he needs to get back in game plan shape. You don't know what you have. It's not fair to throw Darnold away and put JJ in and say, hey, we need you to come in and do the same thing that Darnold did. It's not gonna happen. Okay, so they need to be careful with the decision. Hey, if you want to franchise tag this guy, franchise tag him. Give him 40 million for a tag. 1 year guarantee, so you're not on the hook for 3 or 4 years. You just have to be smart with the decision. If you want to give him a 1 year deal, 2 year deal, a 1-on-1, it doesn't have to be a 4 or 5 year deal, is all I'm saying.
I think
Right. That's what we
I think
meant about pay.
my issue though is when we always because ESPN, which they asses are lazy. So the going
Mhm.
rate for a starting quarterback is like $50 million in this league. Okay, it's kind of like you're watching players in the NBA get all that money that you'd be like, how did Rudy Gobert get that amount of money? You have to pay somebody. You can't just hold on to the money.
Right.
And so whether we deem Sam Darnold great, outside of Patrick Mahomes, in my opinion, nobody deserves that amount of money. Nobody is worthy of that amount of money. No quarterback. Not one. I don't think Brock Purdy's $50-$60 million. He's not worth that.
I feel like Josh
But
Allen
Yeah,
and
you get
Lamar.
Josh Allen that money. Yeah.
listen, but you ain't won a damn. You 2-4 in the playoffs. You 2-5.
You close. You sniffing it. We
Nope,
sniffing it.
nope. You not close. Close is the AFC. You not win if you're not winning
They
the George
sniffing.
Hallis. No, if you're not winning the George Hallis Trophy in the NFC, you not close.
My only rebuttal to that,
whatever the trophy is in the AFC to get to the Super Bowl, you're not winning that trophy. You're not close.
my only rebuttal
I don't know,
is
man. It's hard.
teams like the Bills that haven't had a quarterback in 20 plus years. When you get one, you pay to keep him.
But
That's just my only rebuttal.
Let's be real about Josh Allen. This year is his best year, but it's still not better than Lamar's year. He's gonna win it by default. He's gonna win it because they're tired of giving. Michael Jordan could win the MVP every year if they would just say, "Well, we know we're gonna get Charles Barkley and Karl Malone one because we tired of giving it to you." Lamar has the best stats and is a better quarterback. Josh Allen, it's like the league was patiently waiting for him to turn into what he's turned into, right? All right.
They gave him time.
If you ain't winning, being close is overtime away. Close is winning your NFC, AFC trophy. Joe Burrow's been closer than any of them. But I can't look at them two guys playing Saturday, Allen and freaking Lamar Jackson. You look at what Burrow's had offensive line play, and he got to a Super Bowl, Jack. He beat Mahomes. He beat him in the playoffs.
No, that had a slew of weapons. I'm saying that they getting close because
everybody got a slew of weapons, Doc.
Nah, not like that Bengals team. That Bengals team was stacked. It had Joe Mixon, Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, Chase. But I'm saying this. I'll say you pay those guys because they only need a couple more pieces to get them over the hump. That's why I say they sniffing it because they 1 or 2 pieces away. And once they get that 1 or 2 pieces, then
they
get over the hump.
Close is advancing in the playoffs. Matthew Stafford, Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow, Brock Purdy. We know what Patrick Mahomes has done. Them guys have been close. That's fair. We don't. Jalen ain't throwing for no many yards, but when he made the Super Bowl run, he was on fire. Somebody must have told him, "Hey, you about to get paid if you do this way." He got paid and he digressed. But everybody else been going to the crib, dog.
Well, I think it's gonna be different this year. I think we're gonna see a different team come out of AFC.
Well, I hate that Lamar and Josh, somebody got canceled, somebody out this weekend. That I do hate.
It better not be Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson, you can't hear me, but if you could hear me, you're in the DMV, so maybe the echo off your wall.
Not lose.
You better not get beat Saturday. You play Saturday or Sunday?
No, they play Sunday night.
Because the media view you differently than Josh Allen. Okay?
They will cook him alive.
They view you differently because I don't want to make it about what you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be perfect with yours compared to him. If Josh Allen lose Sunday and he lose on the fumble from James Cook, the loss gonna go to James Cook. Okay, it ain't gonna go to Josh Allen. But if Derrick Henry fumble that ball, that L going to you know what
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson can't
He
win a
missed that wide
football
open
game.
throw.
He just can't.
He missed
Can't
that wide
figure
open
it
throw in
out.
the first quarter.
Huh?
If he would hit that wide open throw in the first quarter, it'd been
Am I
different.
lying? Am I lying? It's
Yeah, they
gonna
gonna
go.
say something.
True.
Yeah, they gonna find some
Don't
throw.
Josh Allen don't have a Derrick Henry. Josh Allen don't have nothing. He shouldn't be here. It's a miraculous thing.
Well,
Lamar ain't never had nothing.
let me
He
add
never
on
had
to what
nothing.
you just said. Josh Allen's been given pretty much a mulligan. You lose Stephen Diggs and some other stuff. He comes back, pretty much reincarnated, and the team is better. So that's where his mulligan comes in at, because now if they lose, it will be we got to get Josh Allen some help to where it was he couldn't get over the hump.
And he cut them
Yeah,
turnovers from 19. I think he got 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
something
And
like
so,
that.
but my point is, and I think when we talk about a dollar figure, an amount of what somebody should or should get paid, they gotta pay some damn body. They
Yeah.
can't. I
Not
mean,
too
the
much.
$4. But listen, yes, you gotta pay them too much because that's the going rate. Too much.
That's why I don't
There's one
agree. That's
exception
why
in
I
the
don't
sports
agree.
world,
But
and it's
who you? What you? But who you? What do you do with the money then?
You stack up on other things that they think that they need. You go get key players, receivers, or D linemen that improve the team. Because that's why I don't agree with paying these quarterbacks a boatload of money that don't deserve it. Because you end up hindering yourself. You never get close to making the play.
But
Always getting knocked out of the first round. Like the Cowboys,
I
y'all
agree with
paid
that.
Dak all that money, and now y'all didn't go out and get anything. Y'all didn't
but
get anything. You're like, we running
in
what we
Tom
have.
in Thomas's Dallas defense, you got to blame that on Jerry Jones.
That was a
Oh,
Jerry
That's
thing.
true.
They got
Yeah.
to blame that on Jerry because Jerry got this thing with he always pays somebody too late instead of paying them when they need to be paid, and he's done this with Dak. I'm gonna say 2-3 times. He should have paid Dak 2 years ago. Prior to that, he should have paid Dak probably back in what 17, 18 when he first
mm-hmm.
started. Lock him in. No, you want to wait 2-3 more years, and you allow that price tag to go up $5-10 million. We got to understand the salary cap goes up $20 million a year. So
And we have people like Trevor Lawrence
Man, I
making.
wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. Jerry Jones is the type of owner where all his moves this offseason were at the last minute. It's like at the buzzer. If he brought Mike McCarthy back, it wouldn't surprise me. Like, you know what, we did a coach search. We let's get in the room and try to see if we can figure out a contract for you.
I don't
Because
think
he
Mike.
just
I don't think he's coming back. I don't think
I
he's
don't
That'd
coming
be
think
back.
he
I
I
think
don't
that'd be embarrassing if we did something
look.
like that.
I
Right.
don't think I don't think
That
that
would
he
be
I don't think that
embarrassing.
he would I don't think that he would, but I wouldn't. It's Jerry Jones. I wouldn't just.
That's true.
I thought Dak Prescott, when Dak said I won't be back, his people had stopped talking to your people. They basically said Dak will be done. They didn't offer him the contract, and it was like a done deal. We knew CeeDee Lamb was coming back, but
Mhm.
Dak, it was like at one point in time that Dak wasn't coming back to Dallas, and he did. I think it'll be crazy. It'll be something foreign, but with you guys, crazy and foreign is normal. Like if you are Deion Sanders, that's crazy and foreign. I
Mhm.
mean,
Yep.
because it don't make sense. But I just feel like, to me, man, when you look at organizations and what they do with the quarterback position, um, you could. I'm with you, Ben. You should fix your trenches, but
Mhm.
you can't hold. Like in the NBA, you got to have max players. You got to pay that money to somebody. You got to give all that money to somebody.
I want to add one more thing. What if Jerry held off and didn't pay Dak this year?
It'd be for the better, I think, to be honest.
It
Yeah,
would have been for the better because he ended up tearing his hamstring off the bone.
yeah,
So if he would have just played the waiting game with Dak,
yes.
he could have got
He'd
him
have
cheaper.
won.
Could have got him
He could
cheaper.
have got it. Yes, he would have got, and then he would have been able to get a quarterback that he wanted. You right, man. I ain't think about that because Dak was gonna bet on himself and he wasn't gonna win. He's gonna
Hmm.
get injured, and he's traditionally getting hurt every season. So, you
Yes.
know, Jerry, man, that is a flaw of a
because
person that's been in a position too long. Like you
because
become
Dak wasn't
complacent.
gonna sit out. Dak wasn't gonna hold out. He was gonna play.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Now
Right.
looking back at it, I feel like
yeah,
Jerry jumped the ball and signing that extension. Just he should have let Dak play the season, see how that happened, and then
facts.
that's where you go from there.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
And now with all these injuries, it's like tore the hamstring right off the bone. You could have just let him, like you guys said, make him bet on himself, and he would have hit the market, and you probably could have got him for way less instead of making him the highest paid player in history.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Yeah,
only that, he's getting older, and his mobility in his game
It's
isn't there
gone.
yep,
anymore like it used to be in his
yep.
younger days. So now you're asking for a statue back there that could possibly be like a Tony Romo in his older days. Couldn't really move well as the injuries piled up.
Question: Zach Martin is Zach Martin gonna be there next year?
I don't know. I don't
See,
know about that. He's a free agent, I believe, but I don't know if he will come back. I would be okay if he went somewhere else because that's a player at the end of the day that does deserve a championship.
Come
mm-hmm.
on to San Francisco, buddy.
New
All right, not there,
Orleans, we
not
need
there.
you. We need you, New Orleans.
We
We
need, we
need
need
you.
a center. We need a center.
So I'm saying you got Dak making 60 million. You got Zach Martin leaving. Do you have a? I think y'all got a bookend left tackle. I think the offensive line played better as the season ended. But like I say, just it goes to show the negligence of Jerry Jones.
The
Yep.
money not thinking. We got a lot of free agents coming up. DeMarcus Lawrence, Zach Martin.
Oh,
There's a lot of pieces that we
what
got to.
about paying
Michael.
Michael Parsons? Yeah, what
Oh
about
yeah,
paying Michael Parsons?
Yep.
he's gonna have to get the bag too. Yeah, he didn't think that one out. I think he just panicked or wanted. But the thing about Jerry Jones is too, he makes social media moves. He makes moves to get the media talking. Like the
Mm-hmm.
Trey Lance thing. What was the point of you bringing in Trey Lance only to play him once? That whole entire time, you could have seen what he had or what he was capable of when Dak was.
And you got finesse. You gave him a fourth round pick for a
Fourth.
guy, and so we flipped that
Yeah,
fourth
the
round
wide
pick.
out. Yeah.
We flip him. We get the wide out, but also not only that, we get no. We get Mustafa the safety.
Mm-hmm.
That's the fourth round pick,
No, I'm
and
talking
it's
about
like
Carolina trading.
Oh, don't start about that Jonathan Mingo. That was a
Yeah,
horrible trade.
yeah,
oh,
that's the one I'm talking
but
My
about.
God.
I'm talking about the one they
What,
flipped for
Mingo?
us.
Well, y'all trade for Mingo, right?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was a
fourth round
horrible.
pick for
Oh my
Bingo. Like
Man,
what?
goodness.
And didn't play.
Jerry Jones said, I've been scouting this player all along since college. I'm thinking, okay, he might make a move. Breaking news, Cowboys trade for Jonathan Mingo. I said, damn it. I cannot believe he did something like that. It's just
but
If he would waited, he
but
could have got him in free agency. He was gonna get cut.
He probably could have signed them off the damn practice squad here.
it, it, I
gave
think
up
the
a
thing
fourth
though.
rounder.
That's hilarious.
I think the thing though, man. Jerry Jones, because everybody on this panel gonna experience, you know, at a moment in your life, whatever it maybe this is baby, and you have to let go of something. You know, of course, as you start to age, you're gonna lose something, and so he don't know how to let go. You know, men are stubborn. We don't know when it's time to let go of something or when it's time to stop doing this, stop doing that. You got to be like,
Ask
hey
for
man,
help. There's nothing wrong
yeah,
with getting help.
but dude, that's a mature Flowers. It's a stubborn rich guy.
Yeah.
You can't tell me what to do. Hey, you telling Jerry, hey, Jerry, you 80, bro. You need to start eating hot dogs all the time. Who gonna stop? I'm gonna die. You know they saying now, we're gonna die from something. Jerry gonna die from eating too many hot dogs, Jerry. He don't care. He's always been able to do what he want to do.
Yeah.
And the Cowboy fans are having to like sit through with the Raiders fans. Well, Raiders fans still ain't recovered because they got the son. He act just like the daddy. So you might get rid of Jerry Jones, but you still got the
The
son.
son right there. Yep, Steven Jones.
Might be just as bad.
Yeah, it's never ending. Hopefully things get better though. But
It
I
will.
I, I stand by if whether Jerry decides to step down one day or he passes, the team we ain't gonna get to where we want to be until he's not in control of the team anymore.
Dude, I got a cousin told me he's not a 49er fan. He's a Saints fan. He said, "Hey, bro, y'all win the Super Bowl and the Cowboys gonna win right back right behind y'all." He was picking on me because I'm a Michigan fan. They won last year and Ohio State about to win. He said, if you ever win a Super Bowl, cuz the Cowboys gonna win it the following year. I said, man, don't wish that. Don't cuss me like that, man. And I'm like, the Cowboys, it could happen because you gotta think about it. It's not like you that far off
No.
talented. talent wise, you have the talent. It's just, can you get the right coaching staff in there?
We definitely need that. Whoever they hire next, for sure. But we're gonna move on to the next segment, keeping it rolling with the playoffs. So we're gonna share our NFC or our NFL divisional round playoffs. We'll start with the AFC first for the first game. The number 1 seeded Chiefs, they're back in action, playing the 4th seeded Houston Texans. Who do y'all have winning this game?
Chiefs.
Chiefs. I think it's pretty clear cut. Texans been struggling to score points, so can they do that?
The one thing that helps the Texans, they played the Chiefs a few weeks ago, so I would think they'd be a little more comfortable going back to Arrowhead. I think they'd be a little more comfortable going in there to play.
I got to say this, man. These Spagnuolo gonna make C.J. Stroud look like Sam Darnold, not Justin Herbert. He gonna look like Sam Darnold because the one thing that we finna see, like I said in the playoffs, the deficiencies, the mask come down. Now we're gonna miss it. Now you finna miss Tank Dell and Stephon Diggs. Because you're not gonna get those big. You need those big explosive plays. They're gonna take Nico Collins away. They're gonna take that run game away. They're gonna see if you can go to the guy you don't want to go to. And I think C.J. Stroud has digressed ever since he tried to big bro Caleb Williams in the tank.
Yeah.
After you just only been in the league 2 years, you're talking a lot. And he said something that was really alarming to me. He was like, okay, my faith is strong. I believe in God. But I just don't believe that God is picking. I believe in favor, but not to the point to where we're going to make sure the Texans win. We're going to make sure the Saints win because they Saints. God don't care nothing about football. There's people praying on the other side. You don't think nobody praying for the Chiefs and the Chargers? So my thing is, bro, it's your accolades, your ability. What can you do? That's your Goliath. When he show up in Arrowhead and it's frigid temperatures, it ain't the defense. It's the guy that's sitting over there that don't lift weights, that drinks a lot of beer. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
Don't work out at all. Don't do nothing conventional. It's Patrick Mahomes. If it's close, you dead.
Yeah, we're all in agreement with this one. Chiefs, they're going to make it look easy, I believe. Patrick Mahomes is like picture perfect in the divisional round. Undefeated, plays well at Arrowhead. I think it's like the Arrowhead Invitational when teams got to go play over there. The only guy that's ever beaten them there was Tom Brady. There's no Tom Brady left in the dance. So I think they're going to make it look easy against the Texans. I think they're going to be in their bag both offensively and defensively for this game. RC, like you said, CJ Stroud might look like Sam Darnold out there. Nico Collins gets taken away. You're not going to get as lucky against the secondary this week. So definitely, I think, and especially if you get down by 2 scores, you're not going to give the ball to Joe Mixon running the ball. You're going to have to get him going screenplays and stuff. So I think the Chiefs are going to make it look easy in this game.
The only way the Texans have a chance if Patrick Mahomes just gift them 2 interceptions at the worst time. Okay, he been susceptible this season, so that's the only way they can get some takeaways. They might have a chance, but don't get twisted. We are going for the Texans.
I'm
we want to
not.
see the Texans win this
No.
game.
I
don't want to see it cheat.
Not
wrong.
me. That's
I'm picking the
AFC South
Chiefs.
business, though.
That's right. That's right.
I'm taking the Texans
right.
too, but I ain't taking them. I'm taking them just like you said, Ben, just out of the reason why.
You want Kansas City to get One more thing.
Get beat.
Take the over on Joe Mixon receptions, Travis Kelce receiving yards this week.
Gotcha.
That's a good one.
Yeah, he said Taylor Swift help him find his youth or something. I don't know what he said. He said something like
you know what they've been doing.
Right.
Next game for Saturday night, you got in the NFC, you got the number 1 seed Lions taking on the 6th seeded Commanders. I think that's gonna be one hell of a game. Who y'all got winning that game?
Hey, you remember that paddle? You remember the paddle they used to bring out to whoop your ass? Y'all ever got whooped with a paddle?
That wooden paddle with the holes in it.
I mean, which one? My godmother used to have a paddle the shape of an apple.
Well, guess what? they bring in the one with the holes in it. So when they hit,
hear that wind.
You got to understand, Detroit Lions got a home playoff game, and they 1 step away from getting to their goal, 2 steps. And I'm thinking to myself, like, Man, this is what they've been playing for. If Detroit loses to the Commanders, Jaden Daniels, you don't have to win a Super Bowl. If we get that team
Yeah,
in his
right.
first year to the NFC Championship game, he don't ever have to win a Super Bowl. They're gonna cry, but it ain't happening, bro. It ends right here. It won't be because of Jaden Daniels. It'll be because that defense can't stop that
Yeah.
Detroit Lions offense
Well, the Commanders is not gonna be able to stop the Lions running game.
No.
at all.
That's why they're not gonna be able to stop that. So
That kid
it's
Cribs
really
runs so hard. Gibbs runs
Oh.
so hard and so fast.
David
right.
Montgomery is back.
That's a
What? Oh
nightmare
man,
matchup.
Yes, David Montgomery is back.
he taking
Sure,
steroids,
but
deer antler
even
spray,
Craig
It's been
Reynolds was
5
running
weeks.
hard.
It's been 5
deer
weeks.
antler
Wait,
spray.
hey, even Craig Reynolds was having a good game. So that boy can tote it too now.
You know who made a mistake leaving there? Jamal Williams.
They're chasing money, man.
Hey, why you
But
gonna say that, man?
I
no,
forgot
because
he
he
on the
fit.
Saints.
It's not a knock against the Saints. It's just Jamal Williams fit that what
Fit
Dan
that.
Campbell was doing in
Mhm.
Detroit.
Yeah,
Yep.
he
He
should
was
stay in
there for the
Detroit.
dirty days too when they were
Yes.
struggling. I forgot about that.
Right,
They were
Mhm.
building it.
man. If they would kill Jamal Williams with Montgomery and Gibbs, they give
Well,
them two guys a break and Jamal come in there. Oh my goodness.
but that's the thing. Jamal had to leave in order for them to
Right.
get David.
That's true.
That's true.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, they asked him to take a pay cut, but he
Mhm.
didn't do that.
But I think Jamal is comfortable. He's probably just as good as Montgomery with Gibbs. I mean, it would probably look the same. I mean,
Oh yeah.
I think with them
Yeah.
guys, they interchangeable, man. Like,
Well, I think Montgomery has the edge because he can break tackles.
Yeah, he's more
It's just for
physical
some
than
reason,
Jamal. Yeah.
yeah, Montgomery, man, dude, you can't. It's hard to take him down. When he was in Chicago, oh my
It
goodness, I
was
think he was
tough.
leading
Yeah.
the league. He was leading the league in broken tackles. It was crazy.
Yeah, for this game though, I'm gonna go with the Lions. I think the Commanders, their impressive 12-win season comes to an end. I think this could be a good game, but like y'all said, it's the pace and the dynamics. The Commanders defense is not good enough to keep pace with Ben Johnson's play calling wise, what they could do passing and running the ball. They just got too many threats on the offense side of the ball. And the Commanders defense gives up 4.9 rushing yards per game or
That's our part.
per carry.
Mm.
So I think Bobby Wagner, he's still one hell of a linebacker. I think he's just too slow to keep up with Gibbs. And then you get the 1-2 punch of Gibbs and Montgomery back for this game. That's going to be too much for the run defense to handle. And I think the key ingredient also is because they are the cardiac kids of the NFC this year, competing in all 4 quarters. Aaron Glenn's got to find a way to hold them down defensively. And coverage-wise, he's got to make sure his DBs are on point going against the Commander skill players. And I think they got to zero in, putting pressure on Jaden Daniels. Even though he can scramble, get somebody to spy in. But I think Aaron Glenn, I think this could be one of those performances where, hey, this is my head coach. This is the reason why you should bring me in and the reason why he get the interviews. But, yeah, I think the Lions, they match up well against the Commanders, so I got them winning.
But don't be surprised, man. I watched a lot of football, brother. If the Commanders got the ball and a chance to win the game, because Detroit do dumb shit. Okay? If he comes out there, because what made me change my mind as I hear y'all talk is Detroit has had a lot of close games.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about in the last month, even with the 49ers, with them being depleted, it took the 4 missed field goals to beat the Niners. So if the Commanders come in that game and it's close, look out. Because hey, look, I'm telling you something right now. Jaden Daniels don't mind spoiling the show. He don't mind. This could be another story written. Because I got the Rams by the storyline and the burning of the city, and then all of a sudden I just see it, the burning of the city, and they make it to the Super Bowl. Because every time there's tragic in the National Football League, 9/11, Katrina, some team wins. The team that has the tragedy wins the Super Bowl. Or represents. So don't be surprised if the Rams are in the NFC Championship game. Maybe playing. Commanders could upset them because the Detroit Lions defense ain't world beaters either. It could be a shootout.
One thing I will say about the Commanders, Jaden Daniels' legs can be the difference in this game.
Yeah.
That's
Definitely
true
make a
too.
difference in this game.
And that Flower, you spot on because that is something they haven't seen.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't play each other this year,
They
and
had
that's a dynamic.
Josh Allen. Look, I ain't got nothing. Of course, Josh Allen is 6'5", 240, but seeing him run around, when they
Dude,
played the Lions, like they couldn't
hey,
stop Josh Allen.
if it's
So
close,
that makes me wonder.
Commanders, and you're now in a position where everybody basically just walking you to the Super Bowl, man. Look, don't be surprised. We're gonna get an upset here. We just don't know when it's coming, but it's coming. It's coming, and that could be the one because people pretty much are penciling in Detroit. All right, still got to play the game, and they coach. If they down or they up, he going for it on fourth down.
Either
That's
way, they
true.
are.
They kicker. I was telling Flowers earlier. Their kickers, or punter and kicker, has had the year off. They just be chilling over there. That's why they make their kicks. They ain't doing nothing. Like punter ain't doing
No
nothing.
pressure.
Punter ain't doing jack.
So next game out in the NFC, you have the second seeded Eagles taking on the fourth seeded Rams. Who y'all have winning this game?
Well, RC already said the Rams. I think I'm gonna go second with that. I am very, very, very cautious of the Eagles this week, man. The Rams have played the Eagles earlier this year. Saquon had like 256 on them.
Mm-hmm.
That was the difference in that game. Now the question is gonna be, of course, how do we stop Saquon? I'm putting 8 in the box, and I'm saying, hey, Jalen Hurts, throw to beat me. I think that's got to be the game plan this week because you cannot let Saquon Barkley be the continuing difference maker for the Philadelphia Eagles. You have to take Saquon Barkley away. I am curious to see what the Philadelphia Eagles look like when Saquon Barkley has 10 carries for 27 yards. I'm curious to see it.
They're a whole different team if that ever happens.
Mm-hmm. Probably not gonna happen, but I'm gonna pick the Rams, even though the Eagles should win. That I would say.
I think I'm leaning towards the Eagles. I think I'm just trusting what travels. Even though the Rams have the same thing in the running game, but Saquon he's been special this year, and no team haven't stopped him yet. So I'm curious to see can the Rams be able to do that. And like I said, we seen Jalen a couple years ago in the playoffs throw the football for. I think he'll be able to find himself against that secondary, and I like their receivers matched up against the Rams corners. So I think that the Eagles can, if they can control the clock and control how they want to play this game, they should be able to beat the Rams. Matthew Stafford will throw you some freebies if they get pressure on them. So that'll be the key. If they can stick to the run game, beat the corners in the passing, and get pressure on Stafford, then they should be able to win this game. Should.
I just want to say
So
something real fast. We haven't had a Puka
mhm.
Nakua sighting in a few weeks. It's time for Puka
Right.
Nakua to show his face.
I'm
That's
smiling,
We're
true.
man.
gonna see.
I'm smiling, man, because Sirianni gonna have to coach.
Yep.
Cause McVay finna
Yep.
coach. Now let me tell y'all something, bro. I'm laughing because they tell me that my guy is the guru. He is not a guru. What he is like I said, he's the guy from Waterboy, Coach Klein. But when he see the guru, the kid over there with the spiky ass hair and the strange, strong face ass beard, that dude be coaching, man. That dude gonna out coach Nick Sirianni. I'm trying to tell you, Cooper Cup is the one that's been missing.
Yep.
They ain't had to use it. And Tyler Higby's back, and Kyron Williams, and I got
Offensive line
Robinson,
playing
Denard
I
better.
got a
Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
real crazy feeling of stuff coming in motion. Philadelphia gonna have to. They finna see the O'Donnell, Kyle Shanahan, which they have traditionally struggled with that offense, defending that offense,
Wanna,
all that motion.
I
Oh
want to
man,
add
it's
one
finna.
thing, see, to what you're saying. Vic
Huh?
Fangio was on that coaching staff in Los Angeles. I would think McVay could get at Fangio.
Well, Vic is an old Niner coach, 3-4. It's all physical, But the problem is, I think the COVID thing went down.
Yep.
He out of there.
He out.
So,
Yep.
so my thing is, it's gonna come down to coaching, and if it's gonna come down to coaching, I'm taking Mighty Mouse is what I call him when I see McVay. I'm taking Mighty Mouse in the boys because he can. Sirianni, he was fired early in the year. Everybody was agreeing with he should be gone, and
Oh, yeah.
winning changed that. Okay, here come that mask again. Get pulled down. So it would.
Mhm.
But if at some point we know the next 3 games that he plays, he's gonna have to coach, and I
Well, see.
guarantee you, AJ Brown won't be able to read no damn book.
He'll be have to reading that playbook.
Yep, stand over there with his hand on the side.
I don't know. As bad as I want to see the Rams win this game, I feel like the Eagles match up well against them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
Especially
Most
the
definitely.
That's
battle
what I
of the
think so
trenches.
too.
Them having one of the best offensive lines in the league, like you said, Professor, 255, 256 rush yards the first meeting with Saquon. If you don't slow down Saquon, I mean, if you're play calling for Kellen Moore, you run the ball first, second down, and then a third and short, easy tush push, you get the first down because you got the Philly crowd behind you. But I gotta say, if it does come down to coaching, I trust Sean McVay way more than Nick Sirianni.
Mhm.
But in order for this game to get going, it can't just be Saquon. Jalen Hurts got to wake up, smell the coffee, get the wide receivers of A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith going again. So I like how they match up. It's just what type of Eagles team is going to show up. Everybody's got to do their part in order to defeat a dangerous Rams team. But I think the Eagles get it done at home.
McVay gonna slow
Yeah,
that thing
like I
down.
said,
Gonna slow that game
like I said,
down.
Jalen Hurts has shown that he can throw the football in past playoff games. Like it was a couple of games where he went out there and made the big time throws.
Hey, brother,
So I just
that
want
was
to see,
That was
can he
2
do
years
it?
ago.
Okay, that means it's there though. He just haven't shown it. It's there. He just
Okay,
didn't
2
finally
2 years.
remember,
2
my
years.
son. Remember how to play quarterback.
But 2 years. If you basing it, okay, but then I don't ever want to hear you discredit
Eh,
quarterbacks. He hadn't done anything.
Mhm. I
But
agree.
he
I agree
haven't.
with you on that.
I mean, they kind of
Dak
took something
Prescott has
away
been
from
better
him
than
too
him.
with the.
Let me
I
say this,
second
Swift.
that.
Let me say this, Swift, because I agree with RC on the fact of the matter of that was 2-3 years ago when he was phenomenal. Now what happened in the midst of that time was people have gotten film on Jalen Hurts and they've taken away in the past game what he likes to do. So he's like Sam Darnold. He's seeing ghosts in a sense.
What do
Can't
you
see
like
past
about?
Sunday.
I gotta ask them this. What do you like about Sam Darnold? I mean, not Sam Darnold. That's who we play like. What do you like about Jalen Hurts?
Jalen.
What do you like? Yeah,
I mean, I didn't say I love
give
the
me your
guy.
what you like about him.
What I like about Jalen when I do see him play is that he's a game changer when he wants to be. When he can run the ball and throw it effectively. We seen that. I seen him play against Saints twice and ran all over our good defense and passed all over our
Hold
good
up,
defense.
brother.
When he's on,
Hold on, brother.
boys.
Y'all should have beat them. He was throwing the ball right to your corner. They
No,
dropped it. I watched the game.
I was.
You beat yourself. The
Yeah.
Saints should have beat the
There's
Eagles.
a lot of things that happen in the game, but I'm saying when Jalen have that it factor going for him, he can make them throws and he able to scramble and run with his feet. I think that
Y'all,
was
do
making
this
him so
not sound
dangerous. But
like
right
Grace?
now,
Sound like Grace? He give
it's
it
not
Grace.
grace. I mean, if we see glimpses, that means something gotta be there. That means he
So how
showed
you
that he
can't
took
He
over
see
got he
that?
games
got he
before.
got paid for the glimpses. Now he got to deliver.
But how
Yeah,
do
that's what
you
I'm saying.
see
Now
that?
you gotta keep it consistently. I feel like he can do that, but he don't have to do it this year with Saquon. I mean, shoot, they hand the ball off 30 times. I mean, you don't have to
But that's
do
not his
anything.
job. His job not to hand the ball off. How do you sound like a
But
girl? You sound like a woman that dating a bad guy and looking for the good in it. Like, you know what? You know, he go to jail. He cook a real good lasagna. I'm trying to figure out how but Flower, if you talk about any other quarterback, he hard on
I'm
him.
hard on Jalen. I mean, I didn't. I just said I just want him to be more consistent when he is consistent with some of
So
his throws and his running ability. He's dangerous. The dude is
so look
dangerous when he's on.
Well, you got to remember now he's coming off a concussion,
okay.
so
That's true.
Well, I need him to understand everything that's left in the playoffs can get in a shootout.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he's a knife going to a gunfight from here on out. Every
I
one of
think
these
the
guys
Rams.
can score 40 points. Every
Mhm.
team left.
The key to beating the Rams is pressuring Stafford. That's gonna be
That's in the quarterback. But I tell you this
well,
much.
that's saying, but when Stafford usually under distress, I mean, it's totally different ball game.
I'm gonna take Stafford over Hurts when it comes to the stress because I'm gonna trust Matthew Stafford in the window of being down 7 to 10 points more than Jalen Hurts.
And dude, you can't blitz. I'm telling you right now.
You can't blitz Stafford.
No, bro, that ball out. You're gonna get a run from the pass. Okay. And another thing that we can move on from this. I think really, I believe the Eagles supposed to handle
They're
their
supposed
business
to
at
win.
home.
Yeah, they're
But
supposed to
Yeah,
win.
they're supposed to win. It's in Philly,
this the
cold
issue.
weather.
It's the issue that they have. It's gonna come down to coaching. Remember, see, the NFC West, to their credit or discredit, they play the NFC East well.
Yeah.
Hey, ask Thomas. Arizona Cardinals. Josh Dobbs. Okay? Arizona Cardinals against the Philadelphia Eagles. Josh Dobbs.
Yep.
It's just 49ers, Eagles. 49ers, Cowboys. Rams against whoever they play against. You know that Kyler Murray don't lose to the NFC East? He just don't lose to him much. He definitely don't lose to Cowboys. But my point is, McVay looking over there saying, if I had what you had, I'll be blowing you out. Let the game be close.
Mm-hmm.
Cooper Kupp make a super catch in the corner. And he's like, dang, he did it all year. Yeah, he been saving it. Do y'all think he hurt?
No.
Nah, I think
No.
I just think got slower. I think that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I was wondering. He should be running routes and blocking.
Nah, he's not fast as he used to be.
All right. And then the last game, you have the second seeded Buffalo Bills taking on the third seeded Ravens. This is going to be the Sunday night game. Who y'all have winning this game? I think this is going to be the game of the week.
Squabble up.
Oh, man.
He's squabbling. Yeah, you right about that.
The Bills better put on that hard hat on. That's all I gotta say.
Hey,
they better put the hard hat on.
The white hat. Keep an eye on the white hat.
Let me say this. The first matchup, 10:35 Baltimore away. Buffalo was missing 3 starters. They didn't have Matt Milano, who's back. Which caught me by surprise last week. He tore his bicep first week of the season. Yeah. They didn't have the Bernard kid. That's his name, the corner, and they was missing the other corner too, Johnson, or one of them. So they were missing 3 starters. But I'm gonna take Baltimore because I just think they're the more physical team. Now, Buffalo can win this game, but I just think it's Lamar and Derrick Henry's game for Baltimore to win.
Yeah.
199. Derrick Henry ran on Buffalo last time they met. So like I said, they better bring their hard hats because they gotta stop that guy. And the Bills, man, to be honest, they need some quick big plays in order to get on top of the Ravens. Because Ravens gonna slow it down. They're gonna eat a chunk of the clock. So they're gonna need some splash plays, man. Bills gonna need to score quick and fast and get the momentum going their way and get the fans going.
It's a tough game
in order to win. But I'm picking Baltimore. I want the Bills to win, but I'm picking Baltimore.
This is a tough game.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe the NFL wants Josh Allen to take his rightful place among the greats. When I seen that white hat talking to him last week, walked over there and apologized to him for missing that call. I said, I don't think
you thought Michael Jordan 96. I'm sorry, Michael.
Hey, Josh Allen came out and said that's not what he said. He said he was getting onto him from yelling.
Okay, but
he
still,
said, stop all the yelling.
Still, you don't walk over to the sideline and do it.
I seen the official do like this. Okay, why did CBS pan to it? It wasn't for us. But I'm telling you, keep an eye on officiating in this game.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on things. Because right after that, they had a makeup call. I just feel this game smells a lot to me, man. They do not. The National Football League, and I'm pulling for Lamar for a lot of reasons. We need Lamar to win a Super Bowl. We need not Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, just how he come and packaged. Diamonds in his mouth, cornrows, We need that guy to win a Super Bowl because that's his authentic self playing that authentic style. But the National Football League don't want to see that. And so this week, I wouldn't be surprised if you see some crazy, just don't make no sense officiating, just craziness. Because if you can, which one do America want to see? Josh Allen versus Mahomes, or watch Lamar Jackson play the Chiefs again?
I think everybody wants to see Bill versus the Lions because neither team wants Super Bowl.
No, I'm saying in the AFC Championship game.
Oh, AFC Championship.
Do you want to watch Lamar try to figure out Spagnola's defense, or do you want to see the shootout that we saw a few years ago?
Josh Allen can beat Kansas City. He beat him earlier this year.
Right.
I'm talking about the Chiefs beat him in 13 seconds. Josh, go down it. So it's about popcorn. It's about money. I'm gonna roll with the Bills because it's hard to beat a team twice.
It's true. That's true.
And they're gonna help them win. They're gonna help them win. Watch it.
I think the Ravens take it. I mean, like I said, they just more physical than the Bills.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna let Thomas get in. The only way Buffalo wins this game, they're gonna have a balanced attack. You're gonna need James Cook to give you 70+ rushing yards. If he can give you 100, they'll show me that Buffalo's physical enough to bang with Baltimore's defense. But it has to be an even affair. And Josh Allen, he's going to have to give you 2 or 3 touchdowns and no turnovers. He cannot turn over the ball in this game.
Don't look at the Baltimore Ravens against the Pittsburgh Steelers and think that offense is going to look like that.
Yeah. And Zay Flowers is not playing this week, so expect to see 2 tight end sets. I think that helps. That helps Buffalo more if you take Zay Flowers away.
I'm laughing because George Pickens just fucking no ass. That play he made Byron Humphries, I think his name, whatever his name, Humphries. Marlon Humphries. What was you doing, fella? So that's all I'm saying. They secondary look like the Falcons secondary at times. It's a play of the Falcons secondary running. The guy was covering imaginary receiver. It's like, who the hell?
They didn't have Amari Cooper in the first game.
Come on, man. 41-40.
That'd be a wild score.
I think the Ravens win by a touchdown. They're gonna come down to a last drive or something.
I'm with you, Ben. I hope so. Like that. I'm gonna do a parlay. I'm gonna put one of them Ravens, one of them Bills.
Right. You know how it goes.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Ravens here. I'm gonna say though, this is, in my opinion, based off of how the quarterback dynamics are going with Burrow, Allen, Jackson, Mahomes, is, in my opinion, the best. This is a legacy standpoint game for Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. So both, I think, need a win here. But I like the Ravens here. I think they just match up well. Like Ben said, that Derrick Henry performance the first time around, 199 rushing yards. I think Derrick Henry's going to have a big game here. I think the Ravens defense is actually going to play a factor too. Somebody said at the beginning of the episode that they ranked at the bottom. They were one of the worst defenses against the pass. They were
pass defense.
Pass 30 through 32 in that category. But that second half of the season, this defense has stepped it up a notch. They're not at the level that they were last year, but they've turned it around. So I think their defense could possibly get some turnovers here, banking on their key players like Kyle Hamilton or Marlon Humphrey, Roquan Smith. So I like the Ravens in this game, but I wouldn't be surprised if Josh Allen does win. But RC, though, and we do see some messed up officiating, man.
Hey, when the last time a AFC MVP player don't at least get to that AFC Championship game? I think this is one of them games, man. I just think they just won't, and I just hope Lamar just able to play. You ever hear those guys when they talk about the NBA when they make it to that game 7, they have to play over the officiating, have to play through all that? Come on, Lamar.
Overcome that, yep.
I'm talking about everything they throw at you, bro. Keep coming, and don't forget about Derrick Henry, because I'm like y'all. He's a game changer, man. Like, they don't want to, it's going to be cold tackling that big dude, man. Like,
RC, man, I don't know why when I picture you, I see you watching a football game like that Leonardo DiCaprio meme when you point at TV. Like, you see that?
It's coming. It's coming. This weekend, as soon as I see the dumb play, like, he was down, I'm going to be pointing just like that. Like, because I just feel it just smells. Like, they do not want to see this kid win it. How? Because it's you look at the league, everybody playing like Lamar Jackson now.
I would love to have this discussion. That's a great discussion we could have because I want to say this, and I know we want to move on. I'm gonna say this, and we can move on. I agree with you, see, but if the NFL was smart, they would lean into Lamar Jackson because there are plenty of people that look like Lamar Jackson with that same athletic ability that can come into the NFL and continue to make these owners money. So don't be naive to slide away from Lamar. Lamar's a good kid. Don't
Right.
let the diamond grill and the braids fool you. That's just a part of our culture, but there's plenty of people in the culture that can relate to Lamar so the NFL can, if they're wise enough, use it to their
This what
advantage.
this wouldn't be a great comparison, but culturally, this will. In the moment in time, I remember watching Allen Iverson when he
Hmm.
did it his way. Even though he got in trouble a lot, he was the best player in the league. Undersized, best player in the league, pound for pound. Nobody
Pound
could
for
do
pound.
nothing with.
Yes, sir.
And you just looking at him, it just didn't fit what they wanted. Okay, if you look at the game, they beat the Lakers. We know that the Lakers were helped. I'm a Laker fan. The Lakers were helped to win championships. Without officiating, bad officiating, they don't get them. So all I'm saying is there's something there, and he gonna have to overcome that something. And he
Yeah.
got two obstacles to get it. If he get it, I'll probably feel emotional about it because I'm saying, hey, bro, he did it his way. He didn't have to compromise who he
Yep.
was.
Mm-hmm.
Pocket passing and all that craziness. Look at Josh Allen. He getting the hell out of there, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Who's
right.
who Lamar with Nike?
Yeah, I would say, yeah, I think
I
so.
look, if he wins the Super Bowl, I can see the commercial now. Bill Polian be the first damn person on the commercial. This guy can't play quarterback.
Hey,
Yep.
and but I won't do what most if you can hear us. I won't go buy his jersey and put it on. That's
Right.
bullshit. That
None of that, huh?
I like it, but not that much.
Mo, hey, RC is swag. You got, you
Get
gotta
one
have
of
some
Ben's shirt.
swag.
We can get one of Ben's shirts
Yeah,
and
like
support
that had
Lamar.
greatness,
Mhm.
Lamar Jackson shirt.
Yeah, for
That'll
sure.
be that'll be closest. That's the only way I'm wearing other team stuff because we make it. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not buying it. I'm not going out there and spending money on another
Mhm.
team stuff.
Yeah, y'all gonna have to give me another shirt, Ben. I'm gonna have to talk to you about that. I like that shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. But we'll move on to the next segment. So, with the coaching carousel that's going on, we're gonna be talking about the news that's going on with coaches, speculation of who could be gone. So, right off the bat, we'll start off with Mike McCarthy and the Cowboys parting ways. We touched about that. I touched up on this earlier in the episode. So, was this a mistake for the Cowboys to let McCarthy go, or should they have re-signed him?
Me personally, I think it was a mistake far as if you didn't want him, why would you let the first wave of interviews go through and you don't interview Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn, somebody like that, and you block McCarthy from interviewing for the Bears job only to let him go for him to interview for the job again. I told RC this earlier, and I ain't gonna be long on this. We'll move on. I feel like Mike McCarthy sabotaged the deal as far as Jerry Jones resigning him. I think Jerry Jones wanted to bring him back, but I don't think he wanted to bring him back for a particular price. I think Mike McCarthy was smart enough to realize what he sees in that division, what he sees in the NFC, he can go somewhere else and have a better roster. So what he probably did, in my opinion, was he went to the meeting table, negotiating table with Jerry Jones. Him and his agent upped the price. Jerry Jones said, "Nah, I ain't paying you that. We can move on." That's what I think personally happened.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
You might be onto something with that one.
Yeah, I agree too.
I don't think it was a bad. I don't think it's a great move for them to let him go. I feel like you don't really have a direction. You really don't know what you want to do at that position. So
Mhm.
stay pat. I mean, he didn't do a bad job. I mean, you're driving a car. It's like to me with Jerry Jones, you're just riding with him. You don't have no decision on where you're going. Just get in here, just ride. I mean, they don't have a clear identity on defense. They're probably going to change their defensive scheme for the third straight year. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you got players are creatures of habit. You got to create some level of consistency and simplify it for them. Like Jerry, this was bad. This is a bad decision. I think he should have stayed with him. Cowboy fans
Mhm.
think he should be gone because they want to blame somebody. But hell, you could get Jimmy Johnson in his prime to come back, and it would be different because they're gonna be fighting amongst each other. So I don't know.
Yeah, this is I don't know. I feel like this is something that had to be done. I think it's based off of McCarthy isn't the worst coach. And I would take, honestly, personally, I'm not one of those Cowboys fans that will sabotage him. I will take him I will take him over a lot of people that are coaching the National Football
Right.
League. But my thing is, you go 12-5 3 years in a row and you make the playoffs several times, there's only one playoff win to show for it. I got to see more at the head coaching position. Now, Habit is not all his fault because you have a stubborn owner that wants to control the team and not just sit back and let his coach do his thing. I think that was the reason why this relationship between McCarthy and Jones ended. And I hate to say it, but I feel like in the Cowboys, the big games that we were supposed to show up, it takes accountability from the head coach. You got outclassed and outplayed by teams like the 49ers. Like RC, y'all had our number countless years with the best rosters that we've had. Y'all still find a way to beat us. I seen him get outclassed against Matt LaFleur last year in the wild card last year, having home field advantage. So when I see the comparison of the wins that he can do beating up on bad teams compared to teams that you're supposed to beat with talented rosters, I just don't see growth there. So I think Jerry Jones, whatever happens next, he wants somebody that could be his puppet, somebody he can control, somebody that's not
Yep.
going to go in there and take charge of the team. So it's going to be interesting to see who we hire. But I don't think McCarthy's a bad coach. I just think it was one of those situations where it's time to let go from both sides.
I agree.
Yep.
But it'll be interesting to see. Now, do y'all think, before I move on to Tomlin, do y'all think McCarthy should take this Bears job if they're interested, really interested in it? Because I know they interviewed him. No?
No. Like I know they talk about Aaron Rodgers. He had Aaron Rodgers before, but Caleb Williams, he's a different kind of cat. And I don't know they'll mesh well with some of Caleb Williams' antics. So, and he kind of lost the locker room in Dallas a little bit. How Michael Parsons was taking shots at him without taking shots at him. So it's just I don't know. The Bears need some real discipline, man. I don't know. Mike McCarthy is the disciplinary type coach.
Let me say something real quick about that. I should have said that too. That's what the Cowboys need. They don't gotta be somebody that's got the best resume, but they gotta have an authority figure in that locker room. I cannot see Michael Parsons, as talented as he is anymore, go on your podcast after getting belt the ass treatments, getting blown out, talking about, yeah, we're gonna win the Super Bowl next year. No, you're not, because you're still not changing what the problem in the locker room is. It
Right.
starts with the players. There needs to be an authority figure to be like, okay, we gotta lock in. If y'all want to go on a podcast and talk, then so be it. You won't play next week. Talk about what is going to help the team win, and they need somebody to do that to check the players at the ego. Because, like you said, Ben, him throwing them shots at Mike McCarthy like that was uncalled for. You cannot do that.
Right. They gonna say what? Y'all know what I said. Y'all taking my words out of context.
No,
Nah,
you
bro. We
said it.
reading what you said. We reading just what you said, and that's why I said we see with the Bears they having locker room issues. So Mike McCarthy don't need to go there, man. He need to go build a team.
I,
The Bears is kind
I
of
disagree.
dysfunctional.
I disagree. I disagree. I gotta say Mike McCarthy would be a great fit for the Bears for this one reason and this one reason only. Caleb Williams in that offense needs someone that can come in there that's been proven and that can lay structure and that can help Caleb Williams. I know that we think Caleb Williams is a nutcase and is an oddball. He can't be worse than Aaron Rodgers. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, I know that Caleb Williams has, diva tendencies in the sense, but I do think that kid wants to play and wants to win. I think he'll do whatever it takes. Now, as far as McCarthy being a disciplinarian, now see, this is where the Jerry Jones stuff comes into play with the Michael Parsons and stuff. If Mike McCarthy had full autonomy and control the way he wanted to in Dallas, a lot of that stuff probably wouldn't be going on. But since Jerry cuts him off at the knees, these players like Michael Parsons can go do a podcast and stuff. What can what could McCarthy have done if he's not given full authority, to be able to run the program? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So I just feel like McCarthy, you gotta think about it. Green Bay, Super Bowl success as success years. A few years here and there we didn't have success, but you go to Dallas 12-5, and for them to lose what they lost this year and to be competitive, because I just knew Dallas was going to be a 3-4 win team after Dak and company went out, but for them to be as competitive as they were with Cooper Rush, the defense started playing better. They didn't have a run game in the beginning of the year. Rico Dow comes on strong at the end of the year. You got to give McCarthy credit for that. And I just think it's a mistake, as far as who you're going to bring in after him. Now, if you can give me a solid name, they do need a disciplinarian, but at the same time, it's going to be a revolving door. It's like RC said, you just hopping in the car, you don't know where you're going, you're just riding. So
Hmm. I really feel like too, man, coaching in certain places like Pittsburgh, um, Dallas, San Francisco, their fan bases is just unrealistic, man. The expectations just don't make sense. I mean, those places haven't won Super Bowls, Pittsburgh more recently than any of the other two, but being a Cowboys coach is hard. And just what Jerry Jones don't understand. Like, dude, you hadn't produced a winner and you hadn't been to the NFC Championship game in 28 years. Like, how old are you, Thomas?
I'm 26, so I wasn't even alive yet.
You dig what I'm saying? So all you know is you don't know nothing about that, what they talking about. So it's like he's so stubborn. It's not like you that far off. No team in the National Football League is that far off from winning a Super Bowl. I said this earlier in a group, and the guy's like, man, you crazy, Cleveland. I said, Cleveland's defense needs an offense.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Then every
Mhm.
conference, every division, the Saints, they gotta get an offensive guy. If Allen could have found an offensive guy to mirror his defense, he would be the Detroit Lions. It's just a matter of strategically doing it at the right. There's no really team in the league. You just like they don't have a shot in hell. Think about it. Nobody. The Giants, to me, could be that one team, but they got to make a few decisions. They got to leech a receiver to get them a quarterback. Their defense isn't trash. So it's like it ain't just build it from nothing. And so letting McCarthy walk out of there, he might end up in New York. He might end up in the division. We saw Quinn go up the road and play you. So, and go to if he can't go to the Giants because they brought Dable back, but
Yeah.
he may go somewhere and win instantly when he was struggling with you because you're in the way. Like I just wish he could shove the shit out of him. He's just shove him out the way every time you see him. Jerry Jones, just get the hell out the way. That's
Yeah.
the only issue. Watch how your draft go. Genty. You're gonna draft Genty. Watch.
I can see it coming too. Just because it's the popular pick, but you need to facilitate players that you need. Like we need somebody to play on the outside of CD Lamb because Brandon Cook or Jonathan Mingo. Brandon
Mhm.
Cook still got some juice, but he ain't the explosive player that he
right.
getting
What's
older.
that smaller receiver I had? Number 9. Is it number 9?
Turban.
Turpin,
Yeah, Turbin.
Latana.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He's like a gadget player. I think he's got the potential, but I feel like you gotta line him up like running screen plays or put him in motion.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he
I don't know if he could
legit
be
too.
a dominant slot player.
What
All
about
right.
Tolbert?
Legit.
How you feel about Tolbert?
You said, oh, Jalen Tolbert. I forgot all about him. I think he's got the route running skills down pat. I think he's just got to show up in big time catching situations.
Got
This,
you. Got
this
you.
how this how bad of a job Jerry did. Got rid of Mari Cooper. Got rid of Cedric Wilson. Got rid of Dalton Schultz. Got. I mean, what you Dak having crazy, crazy stats with them dudes, man. And you just let them.
Yeah,
We beat y'all in the playoffs that year with Jimmy freaking Garoppolo, not because we were better. It was just because when it came down to we just made one more play. Just made one more play, and then nobody had seen Devo with the end around. Now you can't get 2 yards off that. But you had the talent. You had that was a
Yeah,
good team.
yep.
that
That
was a
was a
good team.
really Cedric Wilson ends up in Miami and lost. Like that guy fit your system was emerging. You let him walk out the door.
Right.
So
Yeah, decision making wise, I say, and that's another thing. I mean, it ain't all. I'm not gonna say everything is McCarthy's fault because it starts with the ownership. But the problem really is Jerry because, like you said, you letting people go out the door. That Amari Cooper trade broke my heart a few years ago.
Hmm.
Never
yeah,
forgive him for that. gave him up for a bag of chips.
Yep.
But
I'm talking about a bag of Boosie chips. It wasn't even a good bag of chips. It was like
He said
yeah,
boost chips.
rap. She got some rap chips. She got
Rap
some
chips.
Rap snacks.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Give me something, man.
But yeah, it's just you gotta capitalize in free agency. He lives by the draft. We draft pretty good. I will say drafting wise, we
Oh yeah.
got a lot of homegrown talent. But you gotta mix it in. You gotta make splashes during free agency. You gotta make trades that compete with these other top tier teams. So when you have all this in accountability, I don't know how Jerry Jones has looked himself in the mirror and said, "I'm going to fire myself and sell the team." But that goes to show, like
Wishful thinking.
things ain't getting better. But hopefully we get the right guy. We talked about this earlier too. Mike Tomlin was brought up. How you guys feel? Should the Steelers and Mike Tomlin split up this offseason, or should they keep going together?
You know, they've already announced that he's coming back.
Yeah.
He is coming back.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's
Right.
coming back. Now, not my opinion, I think it's time. I mean, I don't think he's a bad coach. Of course, look. I'm the main one that vouches for him, but I gotta call a spade a spade. When it's time to go, it's time to go. We see it with
Yeah.
Andy Reid in Philly. It's
Mhm.
just it's time. He's been there for almost 20 years. You know, so
That's true.
there's
I'm
not
just
there's nothing like, say for instance, like with the Ravens playing them this past weekend. What haven't the Ravens seen with that? He's had that same defensive personnel for years and that same scheme. So it's time. It's time for a change.
I'm just hoping that I don't have that same scenario in San Francisco with Kyle Shanahan because it happens more often than you
I
think.
had it with Frank Wright. You know, I would tell you about Frank Wright when we had him. Like,
Oh, good coach.
good coach, but the system, you know, it defeats itself when you don't have the players.
It
So
goes stale.
you don't adapt, you know, so you can't continue to run the same thing thinking it's gonna work because it's, you know, the system and the system's proven. You gotta have the players to run these systems.
Yep.
So I'm wondering, do Mike Tomlin actually like try bringing younger and fresher guys into his coaching staff with, they might bring some new ideas. Cause it seems like it's just like you said, the same old with the Steelers, especially on
Mhm.
the offense side. This offense side of the ball, they just can't figure it out for
Look who
some
they
reason.
hired as the offensive coordinator.
Arthur
Right,
So,
right.
so,
I could have told him that. It's like,
so,
come on, don't.
The
I
Steelers.
seen him with the Falcons. He was terrible.
Right. So you get that and you take it to Pittsburgh. So you bring vanilla to Pittsburgh to be vanilla.
so my thing with Tomlin is it goes back to the stubbornness of who we are as men. Some of us, um, you can know what you need to do, but hey, man, I won a Super Bowl. It's kind of like Russell Westbrook winning the MVP playing basketball the way he does. Like it's not very. It's like watching. He plays game is similar to like a car that goes really fast and eventually gonna crash. Like he's just out of control. Especially when he was younger. He's gotten a lot better. But it worked. You got him a championship, so now you're gonna tell him not to do it. And so that's just probably the mindset. But I won a Super Bowl, and I could have won a second one, but Aaron Rodgers was special on that day.
Yeah.
Well, it came down to the last play. So in his mind, y'all can't tell me how to build a team. I actually built a team. Well, guess what, Tomlin? That was decades ago.
Yeah.
Like the
And
game
they
has
better.
changed. The game has changed, so that's it. And the game has changed so much, but you still stuck in the early 2000s. And like I said, Russell Wilson's a good dude and everything. But what I saw Ben and it made me realize he need to retire. Russ on fourth down, it might have been third down or fourth down, took off running with the ball. I said, Negro, where you going?
He wasn't
Baby, you
going nowhere
slow.
fast.
Baby, you slow. And then you lowered your shoulder and you hit the guy and fell sideways.
It's like
What
he had
kind of time,
it's
bro?
like he just had a brain fart or
I'm
something.
thinking to myself, like, he thought he was Justin Fields. And Mike Tomlin standing over there looking like his eyes are big and he's looking like he's surprised. What you thought? So, but my thing is, that's the problem. You see it. Remember when they scored the touchdown and they made it 14. It was 14. They scored there. They got there 14. It might be 14-28. That was
Yeah,
the final score,
yeah. It was
28-14.
it was
But
like
they got their 14. They came out of halftime to score.
Cool. Right.
And Russ walking to the sideline. Tomlin give him that. We finna get there. It's like Lamar looked over there and was like, "Oh, they scored. Watch this." It's like the Cam Newton said, "You know the
yeah,
play.
they
Watch
scrape.
this."
Yeah, they scrape right back. I remember they scored, still scored,
Yeah.
and the Ravens
Then
came back and right
all I see
for
was Russ'
nothing.
head was down. Head was down looking at that iPad. I'm like, Russ, it ain't on the iPad. It's out there, bro. it's out, that big dude. That big dude that run upright is the problem. You don't play defense. So yeah, man.
Yeah, for Mike Tomlin's sake, he's still one hell of a coach. I think he's still a phenomenal
Most
coach.
definitely.
But it's just like one of those scenarios where the relationship has reached its course because one person's putting in more work than the other. Because 17 straight winning seasons in the NFL, that is not easy, especially with the rosters that Mike Tomlin has got in recent memory. That's why I feel like he's putting in the work. But what is the front office doing? Ever since Big Ben retired, they've went through 5 different starting quarterbacks. They're getting no help on the outside with wide receivers. They keep getting wide receivers that are nothing but trouble. Antonio Brown, Chase Claypool,
That's bad luck.
George Pickens. I mean, what is Mike Thomas supposed to do? So I feel like
Thank you, Thomas. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you, Thomas.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
That's what I be talking about, Thomas. Nobody ever blames the general manager for the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's always Mike Tomlin's fault.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. We don't even know the guy's name, but that's who it is. It's him.
Because they were supposed to get Brandon Ayuk, RC. I remember they was talking about getting Brandon Ayuk for y'all for a long time.
Pull the trigger, bro. Pull the trigger. It was there. It was on the table. Like,
they were
pull the trigger.
Brandon Ayuk changed his mind.
But no. It was something about a pick they didn't want to come off of. It was
they
a
didn't
done
want to
deal.
come off of something.
Yeah, it was something that the Steelers didn't want to give the Niners. I mean, to me personally, man, I don't know if that would have helped, but it would have went a long way. Pittsburgh needed to draft a quarterback.
Yeah, they need a quarterback.
Got to develop one. Either you develop one or you tell Aaron Rodgers, Sam Darnold, some veteran, come do what Russell Wilson did for a year until we figure it out.
Aaron Rodgers needs to stay away from cold weather. He need to go to some warm for them bones.
He need
to some joints. Yeah, he need to go to the dome. That's what
he
he
need
need
to call
go
Brett
to.
Favre up and go sit with Brett Favre again. Man. He's retiring.
Well, Brett Favre played in Minnesota in the dome. That's what he need to do.
You say that. Does Aaron Rodgers go to Minnesota?
Right.
No.
I think that offense be scary. Okay, that O line is not bad. I mean, they just had a bad night.
If he following Brett Favre footsteps,
right,
that's
man.
The
next. That's the next
hey,
stop.
Ben, the difference between Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers is Brett Favre had his team one game away from winning the Super Bowl, and he threw the ball back across his body for no apparent reason.
Sidney Rice was open. Rice was open.
No, he should have ran.
Bro, he didn't even have to run.
We told his tail up the whole game. He wasn't about
to run. Just run straight, go out of bounds, kick field goal.
He said he's on a bum ankle. He said, "Nah, I'll throw this mug across my body."
He yelled, "Do it for the kill." I grew up a Saints fan.
Yeah. He said, "Yeet."
That was crazy.
Oh, man.
And then the final head coaching thing that the official first hire that we've seen for some teams in their offseason. How do you guys feel about the Patriots situation? How they took the Gerard Mayo situation and Mike Vrabel being the new head coach?
Like I said, he never was a head coach. He was an intern. He was just keeping that spot warm for somebody who was Vrabel. It's always been Vrabel. He was keeping that what Patrick say, "Hey, boy, I'm keeping this spot warm for you." That's all Gerard Mayo was doing, man. He should have known it. I don't know why he even took the job.
I'll just reiterate.
Yeah.
I'll just reiterate what I said last week. Gerard Mayo was the scapegoat, to get, to take the year over, for Bill retiring, leaving or whatever. He was the least paid coach in the NFL. So if you're doing numbers, Robert Kraft doesn't have to pay that much for to make him disappear. Mike Vrabel wants a job last year. He gets the job. Okay, let me say this, and I'll be done. If Drake May doesn't pan out to be what he is, Gerard Mayo still has his job because they'll continue to tank it through until they was able to find a quarterback. But hey, they found the quarterback. Gerard Mayo did a great job by not rushing Drake May out, by letting him sit and develop, and we seen what they have in Drake May. Now they come in and say, well, they want to say, oh, Gerard didn't get his chance and stuff. It was the front office button heads and this and that, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, y'all give Mike Vrabel pretty much full autonomy over everything. Now y'all supposedly got people in the building that know football and this and that. Okay, now you got a quarterback, you got a cap room, and this black man can't, Gerard Mayo can't be given the chance to be able to have a decent roster. Now you bring in the savior and Mike Vrabel, and the Patriots are supposed to take off. Black coaches, stop taking these dead end jobs. I understand that you get paid, whether you complete the contract or not, you're going to get your money. But is it worth just that one cash dump if you really love the coach? Because you're not going to get a different chance, unfortunately.
I don't appreciate it. Robert Kraft, I hope you go in one of those massage sessions that they massage the wrong thing and it fall off. I just do feel in my heart that, to me personally, man,
Oh,
it was disrespectful. They did
yeah.
it to poor taste. And like Flower said, stop taking these jobs where you know you don't have a seat. Gerard Mayo, kind of like Draymond Green told Paul Pierce, they don't love you like Kobe. He thought that because he played there that he was gonna get time and they loved
Mhm.
me and they were gonna value me. I'm an expatriate. No, no, no. You're not Mike.
Champion.
You're not Mike Vrabel. You make yourself way more important in their life than you were in there. So it's like, to me, I don't like it. I hope they don't win a game. I hope they fail. Because you
Mhm.
can't turn around any program or organization in 1 year. It's just not possible. And he didn't get a chance. And they were better. They were competitive. They played the shit out of us. I mean, you watch the game with most teams they played, they fought tooth and nail. But to throw him away, and I don't like this whole stigma of stupidity that they try to label black coaches with. They basically said he wasn't smart enough. And
Right.
I mean, what NFL coach? A lot of them facilitate. They kind of pass along. They have assistants around them who do all the heavy lifting, and they just kind of oversee the thing. So, reading the comments from Patriots fans, he wasn't smart. He really didn't know what to do. You don't know what to do.
Right.
Like everybody look at coaching and think it can coach from the stands. It takes a unique person to be able to get people to play together. And I just feel like in his situation, I hope he land on his feet. He needs to go to college, man. Just go to college and coach because you ain't gonna do anything in the NFL. He might not get another job because they said he was smart enough to do the job. So
Yeah.
damn you, Robert Kraft.
Yeah, I felt the same way. I felt so bad for Draw Man. They didn't even wait until it was like what 2 hours after they beat the Bills in the finale. They were already eliminated. I think what cost them the job, which I don't think was right, but I think what cost them the job, they ended up winning a game or so, and it cost them the first overall pick. I
Mhm.
think that's where the
Yeah.
controversy started. But it wasn't right for Robert Kraft in the first place to go ahead and hire him for a year, knowing that Mike Vrabel was ready to take his job. Why didn't they just hire Mike Vrabel from the first place?
Exactly.
That should have been the hire a year ago because he was sitting there waiting for a job. So I hope Gerard Mayo gets another opportunity. Like RC said, maybe college is the right route because I don't see another NFL team giving him a shot, unfortunately.
They did it for
Unless it is
Belichick.
for what'd you say?
They did it for Belichick.
Yeah.
Don't do me no favor.
And I think that's wrong too. You're letting go of Bill Belichick. He did a lot for you, but you're granting an ex-coach a favor to give somebody opportunity. I don't think that was the right choice.
Why, why hire Gerard Mayo if you got rid of the person that mentored Gerard Mayo and you didn't want that same
Right.
philosophy in the building? So why bring Gerard Mayo
But
in?
even Bill said that Gerard, I don't know what Gerard's saying. I mean, tough. There's toughness in that building.
Right.
So were you really with me or you just I don't know, man. Robert Kraft was around Gerard Mayo for years. He saw the potential. He even said the guy was a great. He felt like he could do a good job in the NFL. So what happened? Because you, like you said, Vrabel came available. Hell, I think they would have gave Julian Edelman the job he wanted. Just
Yeah, it's a nice job though if everything plays out how it's supposed
Oh
to.
yeah.
Mike Vrabel, I think that is a good leader. Drake May, if he develops well, I like what I've seen a lot from him playing and on tape this year. If he develops the right way, they got a lot of money in cap space. I think 120, 130 million to play with.
And that's why I don't like Thomas, because now the Patriots are on the up and up. Now you want to get rid of Gerard Mayo, and now let's let the real fun begin. Also, the Titans GM. I understand that he drafted Will Levis.
Levis.
Okay, but everybody doesn't hit, seven. If you got 7 picks, all 7 picks aren't,
Gonna hit
right,
his
of
heart.
course. So I don't understand why that guy wouldn't afford it, to have another chance to draft another guy. So, because like you saying, the Patriots, $120 million in cap. That's the Titans, a lot of money in cap space, a great pick. You know, if they get the right person in place, they're off. These people won't have the chance to be able to do it though.
Hey, somebody need to tell the Patriots fans, you will not. You stole, you cheated, you did
Eat
everything
it.
illegal to get championship. You will not have another 7 Super Bowls. You will not have. You're not getting there. I'm sorry. It's not gonna work like that. Like that dynasty died and went away when Brady left and Belichick. If you think Vrabel finna come in there and duplicate that success, that's a crazy way to think. We've never seen it done. It's never gonna be done. When the 49ers dynasty died with Joe Montana and Steve Young, hey, here I am. 30 years later, 28 years later, we still waiting on that Super Bowl. Dallas Cowboys waiting. You just don't get it. You don't get that type of luxury. Football guys ain't finna give you no. Mike Vrabel finna go over there and look like Brian Dable and all the rest of them. He might look like Bill O'Brien with the Houston Texans. It might give him that level of
No,
success.
I think he might succeed with New England. Mike Vrabel. I mean, he showed
Well,
showed in Tennessee, and he didn't have all the things he
did
needed
he?
in
Did he?
Tennessee.
Did he show you in Tennessee? Really? What did
I
he show
mean,
you?
he made Tennessee a formidable team.
Or was it
Really?
Derrick Henry and
Okay.
AJ Brown?
But no flower. We're gonna give him credit because he was there. But did he really? Was anybody really fearing Tennessee?
They had a shot. They had a shot.
I feared Derrick Henry and AJ Brown.
So you remember when they beat Lamar? That team beat Lamar,
Mhm.
and then they played the Chiefs the week after that. Yeah, that was there. Like that was they flash in the pan.
That was it.
There ain't nobody worried about the New England Patriots because guess what? Now you got to convince people to go out there.
They,
Who am I coming to play with?
I mean, they have a defense already set up. I mean, they just gotta get some offensive pieces.
Who going out there?
They're
You got
gonna
to draft
I
it.
mean, how
they
they
might
gonna
have
have to
draft the
draft them?
Wales.
New England way. You gotta draft them. That's their way.
Well, my thing is Bill won 4 games his last year. Gerard won 4 games. I mean,
Hey, if I'm a betting man, you take the Raiders building that thing, getting it right. Who makes the playoff first? Who wins the playoff game
New
first? The
England,
Raiders or New England?
Raiders.
New
Raiders.
England.
Raiders
Why
gonna
you
get it
said
right.
The Raiders? I mean, the Raiders have been in like dog poop for the longest. I mean, if you look at the Raiders, what they don't have a ton of offensive weapons, just like
That
New
man,
England.
we're not gonna gloss
Who
over it.
has the better defense? Who has
Hey,
the better defense? New England had a better defense than Oakland, from what I see.
the Raiders defense
So
isn't bad.
it's not bad, but the Patriots actually have a defense in place. They just need to add some
They know
receivers.
they okay.
They
They
got
got a great
Gonzalez
the
They
New
got
England got a
Gonzalez
great
on one side,
secondary.
and the other kid, I forgot the other kid's
Yeah, you
name on
got
the other side.
Gonzalez and you got I
Yeah.
mean they got some good talent. You got Duggan,
I
got some talent.
I don't believe that those guys that's been there with
So
Belichick
which one hard to build though?
they're
I
gonna
mean, if
stay.
you already have a defense in place, and with
You,
the Raiders, you need a little bit of everything.
so before Brady got to New England, it was a cold place in hell.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nobody going over there. It's not the most. It's not the most. It's not the place you just go play football, man. Trust me, bro.
I
They.
mean, right? What had the Raiders done?
I
I
get
mean,
it, but I
they've
read it.
been Oakland, they in California, then they go Las Vegas. They still looking.
I'd rather go to
terrible. So
Las Vegas than New England any day.
I understand
Well,
that. I understand
to
that.
be fair, the Raiders have been the better team the past 3-4 years.
They got that voice in the ownership now too with Tom Brady. That's to
Exactly.
attract free agents, and he's gonna have his say in what the team does moving forward. That's why I think the Raiders, talent wise, I said Patriots somewhat got better talent now, but I think as it goes on, I would say the Raiders probably get that playoff win before the Patriots and get things going.
Mm-hmm.
The
We'll
Patriots.
see
Hey,
in
hey
that
Ben.
division.
Hey Ben.
We'll see in that division.
Hey Ben. Your Patriots, because you used to be a Patriots fan. They gonna go
Nah, I don't
back
know
to
what you're
wearing
talking
it.
about.
They gonna go back to that guy that with his hand in the dirt. Remember that? Remember that on the helmet? That Patriot.
Oh yeah.
They gonna put them. They gonna be those Patriots again because bro. Listen, man. You saw the Saints when they had their run with that dynasty. Playing well. It's hard, dog, to duplicate that amount of success. So you telling me Mike Vrabel finna be the next Bill Belichick?
I mean, look at the division. Buff, Miami gonna fall to pieces in a couple years. The Jets, they don't know what the Jets. Jets can't
Even
put
if you
The
get
nothing
out
Jets
that,
together.
aren't that far. They just got to
I
figure it out.
mean, but they Jets are not that far, but they
hey,
also
Ever since Josh
at the
Allen's been in
point.
that division, he's ran that division.
yeah,
If
even
they
if you
can
get,
get second, I can see New England getting second for
but
sure.
but
Especially if the Jets can't figure this out. I mean, we saw what with the Jets right now. Garrett Wilson asking for a trade. Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed beefing, talking about, oh, you don't want it out there. So they
hey,
having problems with each
if you
other.
get out of that division,
Mm-hmm.
there's Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson. It's a whole
But
bunch of
the
problems.
Raiders have Patrick Mahomes,
I get
Herbert,
it. I
now
get it.
Bo Nix.
Not Bo Nix. Bo
Well,
Nix
the
next year.
I'm
Next
just
year.
saying,
Hey,
yeah.
Bo Nix versus ain't no Donald. I
hey,
mean, you
look,
picking Bo
look.
Nix.
But I'm telling you, next year, Bo Nix you're gonna be looking like Sam Darnold with Bo Nix. I'm telling you, that's a one that's coming back to
I'm just
earth.
saying, New England they might be on the up because Jets are in shambles. The Dolphins, Mike McDaniel's, in
Should
the
be fired.
media, yeah, he should be
Mhm.
fired. Having brain fog, can't think about what he want to say to the media. Cause
No,
he
he
can't
just
believe that his team fell apart like that. I mean, so I think New England they have a shot.
Yeah, I like that. I like that stuff. We're gonna see. I think next season should be really interesting for a lot of teams.
Right, right.
But we're gonna move on to the final segment. Ohio State and Notre Dame in the national championship game in college football. Who you guys have winning this game Monday night?
Ohio State.
Ohio State's
I don't
supposed
even,
to
I don't even
win,
explain. Yeah, I don't even explain why. I mean, they just go
but
ahead, Flowers.
but I gotta give the but. I gotta give Notre Dame a chance only because Ohio State has started slow in 90% of their games the whole year.
mhm.
So if Notre Dame can keep Ohio State from striking early and often, they stand a fair chance. You do not want to get in the phone booth with Notre Dame, same as Michigan. And RC, I'm gonna let RC elaborate on that, but
Thank you, brother.
I
Thank you, brother.
I was telling the guys Thomas in the group chat last week when Ohio State was playing Texas. I told him last week this is not going to be an easy win, but I'll let RC
Mhm.
go on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, man, it's against my football religion to ever pick Ohio State. We don't do that in my house. Um, don't have very much red stuff in my house. We do not do. We don't even have a red cup. All right, we don't even. I don't have nothing crimson. We have red. We don't have crimson. I don't believe that. And believe it or not, Thomas, Notre Dame is my rival too, but it's not the same because they discontinued it. But Marcus Freeman played for Ohio State. Marcus Freeman has a really, really good defense. And the only way you stop Ohio State, you ask them to meet them with physicality. You say, come be physical. And then there goes Ryan Day. We go show y'all we physical. And then you got them. Because long as they can't use them weapons on the outside and they try to get in the phone booth and run the ball directly at your defense, it shortens the game. And that's how Michigan beat them. Michigan's not better than Ohio State, but they got them to play their style. And Notre Dame is built like Michigan. They don't have a quarterback that's going to throw for 300 yards. They got really good running backs, really good offensive line, and a really good defense. And they're going to ask Ohio State, come in this phone booth. Okay? But if Ohio State get up 21-7, turn the
It's
TV
over.
off.
Yeah.
Turn the TV off. But I need Marcus Freeman to know one thing.
Hey
Marcus
man,
Freeman, Marcus Freeman, bro, you got a chance to be the first black football college football coach to win a national championship, dog. You got an opportunity. Come on, dog.
Come on.
Come on, Marcus Freeman. You gonna be the first Asian, black coach to win. Come on, blazing. Come on, dog. Do your thing. I'm gonna be pulling for him, man, because I damn sure ain't pulling for Ohio State, man. Okay. So yeah, Ben, who you going for?
I'm pulling. I mean, I want Notre Dame to win, but I think Ohio State gonna be too much for them.
I'm gonna be Catholic that day. I'm gonna be Catholic that day. I'm gonna be able to do
Yeah, I
everything.
want to see Notre Dame win. I want to see Mose over there talking about, oh, I'm just happy to be here.
Oh, hey. Probably not gonna watch the game. Mo probably not gonna watch the game.
Right. Right. Tell me about it. So I kind of want Notre Dame to win, but I just feel like Ohio State a better team.
Yeah.
And I feel like they coming off that huge win. I mean, they feeling themselves. They ready.
One team hadn't won since 1988, and the other hasn't won since 2014. It's crazy. 88, man. 88.
Dang. No, I wasn't even born yet.
90.
I wouldn't even have thought.
Y'all listen. Ohio State 14, they won in 14, but Notre Dame was in the national championship game twice, I think. Twice against Bama, maybe.
Yeah.
He got slaughtered slaughtered. So it's their opportunity.
Matateo.
Yeah.
Invisible girlfriend.
Who you got, Thomas? Who you got?
I'm gonna go Ohio State here. I would like to see the underdog story, but I think it's Ohio State's time to get back to win a national title. I like the resume that they put together after y'all, whatever y'all did to them. RC, y'all gave them the biggest spark that I've ever seen in a long time.
I love it, man. It just warms my heart. You just don't understand. It just warms my heart.
We did that.
When y'all put the flag on the O or what, but they woke up and they beat Tennessee, Oregon, Texas. That's a great resume in the playoffs. So
yes.
And I think they got the players to take it to Notre Dame. They can air it out with Will Howard playing, Jeremiah Smith and Emeka Ibuka, or the front seven, the pass rusher get home to Notre Dame too. So I think it could be close in the first half, but I think in the second half, if Ohio State's put everything together, they can run away with the game in the second half. But I will say one thing though. I want to see if Notre Dame. I don't think Notre Dame has the secondary that Texas had. I think Texas had one of the best secondaries in college.
Yeah.
I want to see if they could cover the blueprint of taking Jeremiah Smith out the game, because the way they shut him down, one catch for 3 yards was tremendous. So I want to see if Notre Dame could do that.
Just don't play man. Shade them.
And then
don't beat Oregon. That's all I'm gonna say. Do not beat Oregon.
Oregon was arrogant. Said we're gonna my athlete against your athlete. No, you got ducks against Buckeyes. It ain't work. It didn't work. You put a duck on a man child. But when I look at Notre Dame, the reason why I give them, they're better than Michigan, hands down. Yeah. And then that defense is ranked in the top 5 in the country. And they're fast, they're big. The issue with Notre Dame is, can you stay in that? Because I saw them against Georgia and Penn State, and I was just like, Penn State really gave them the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, he did some dumb stuff like that play, down the stretch. So, Ohio State gonna give you the game, dog. You ain't gonna be able to. But if Notre Dame gets up, pressure. It's just. Notre Dame's 21-7. All right, Ohio State, because you're supposed to win. But come on, Marcus Freeman. Come on, bro. Because if they don't win it, they ain't getting back. They ain't getting back. They're going to try to exile them because they're not in the conference. They're going to try to figure out how to make sure a team without it that's not in the conference. They're going to try to blackball them, keep them out of there. But, yeah, go Irish.
That'd be a good thing to see, though. But yeah, I had a blast with you guys tonight. We definitely got to come on again. I definitely got to have you guys on again, or Ben, I come on the show with y'all. This was a really good episode. Yeah, really good stuff. But we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. That's all the time I have for you guys today. Thank you guys for watching, listening. This is your host Thomas Tyree. Again, the voice of podcast, the voice of the fans podcast. Joining us tonight, the host Ben Reynolds. Professor Flowers, RC, join us. Ben, before we sign off, where can we find you guys on your platforms?
We are on Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook. Just
Don't
type
say
in
TikTok.
VOL.
Oh.
At the moment, TikTok. Well, hold on. The only supposed to be going away at 9, tomorrow
Monday.
or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
What?
just type in VOL Sportscast and we'll be there. We'll pop up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
good stuff, man. But
Thank you.
we're gonna wrap it up, and your host Thomas Tyree signing off, and I'll see you guys on next week's episode.
Appreciate you, T.
All right,
Yes,
bro.
sir. We out of here.
All right, thanks for coming on, guys.
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
Sir, thank you.